Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerd BS. We are on episode 42. It's Wednesday, September 9th, 2022. And it's been an extra week since we recorded because we got a bit busy. But we're here now. And I got myself, Alan, and we have Kyle over here.
Hello. How are you?
And then Tomas.
Hey, what's up?
All right. Yeah, we got the old three amigos here, and we got lots of stuff to talk about today later on. But until then, um, what have you guys been playing? I think Tomas said something about Tiny Tina's or something. I don't know. What are you doing?
Yeah,
What are you doing,
I
Tomas?
got Tiny Tina's for my birthday, so I've
I
been
did too.
playing
Myself will
that.
beat it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I actually worked through it pretty quick. I think I finished it like
Was it long?
No, it wasn't that bad. I think it took me a couple days to run through the story, and then I've been doing cleanup.
Like what was it? What would you say just to get through the game?
Like
20 hours?
hourly? Yeah.
Uh I mean, if you just rush through it, you could probably do it in like 10
Oh
12
wow.
hours.
Oh,
It's not very
really?
long.
You gotta
No,
run me
Yeah.
through it then. I want to finish
That's
it, but
not-
I kind of
there's
I got caught in other
there's
stuff.
like
seemed
there's
like
like
it
a
was short.
bunch of like side areas, but you can
Yeah.
literally just go
It sounds like
from
Borderlands.
you can literally just go from the castle straight to the end. But I went down all the side areas, so it took me a couple days to beat it.
I just
Oh.
learned that it's like you move along a grid or a board. to-
Yeah, there's like
into areas.
there's not like a grid per se, but there's like a overworld that you navigate.
It's
Mhm.
kind of like Mario 3. You
Yeah.
remember that map?
Oh,
Like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That actually sounds fun. The more
Yeah,
I'm hearing
it
about it,
is.
the more I want to play it.
It was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The dialogue gets a little repetitive. Like after a couple hours of playing, my character was saying like the same thing over and over again, and so I just kind of like turned it off music wise, like dialogue wise.
Uh-huh.
Because I just read the subtitles if they said anything important. Like so.
Yeah. It was pretty fun. I played a little bit of it. I wanted to get back into it,
Well,
but I just kind of fell off.
apparently the creators all made the game from their homes during COVID.
Oh,
So,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was really enjoying
Wow.
it, but I've never really liked the shooting in Borderlands. It's always been kind of off. I don't know how to explain it. It's never felt really tight. But I will say this one in particular felt the best by far. So I definitely felt that they're getting better. It's been getting better, probably with each iteration. They've always been really fun, but that it's never been about the combat for me. It's always been like the story and hanging out with friends and things like that. So
Same
I really
here.
want to get into this one. I just haven't really found a lot of people to play with. But then you said you got it, but I was already deep in my own curse. But why don't you go next, Kyle? What have you been playing?
Oh, okay. It's interesting you say curse. Every once in a while, there's a game or like any kind of media, movies, where you click with what they're trying to do, right? Like you get it, what their vision, right? And so I've had this whole week off now from work because of the fire that's going on where I work. There's no fire where I live, but we're getting the smoke, which is crazy because it's like 30 miles away. Anyways, I have this week off, so I have Game Pass now, which is, side note, by the way, when you buy an Xbox, you can get Game Pass for $1 for a month, which is nice. I was like, hey, Sony, get on this. Especially with their new.
They really should. I agree with you. They
Something
should
like that, right?
it shouldn't even be $1. It should just be like, here, you bought our console for $600. Why don't you try some of our games as well?
They do have those free games on there that you can just straight up download.
Yeah, but they're not the newer games. It's like, those are older games.
I mean, that's how I played Days
good.
Gone. That's how I played Days Gone was on that. So
I would have even liked $5 off the PlayStation Plus.
Something,
cost, right?
yeah.
But anyways, that's not really what we're talking about. I I finally, and I've been wanting to play this game for a while. I finally picked up Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh crap! Yeah, I have a friend who's like really into that. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah.
Those teeth drive me insane. The
Oh yeah.
cover. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! Somebody posted. I was sorry. I deterrent, but I was in a D&D game and somebody posted that picture and I had to delete it because it was distracting me. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can't look at those teeth anymore. They're driving me crazy.
Was it
Go ahead and continue though.
the
Yeah,
CGI teeth, like her
yeah, those
animated?
CG.
Oh
They're
yeah.
just like really. They're just out there at you, and I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. It
So
was bothering me.
I mean, I love this thing, right? Like I gave it a 9 out of
Yeah.
10 if I had
Yeah,
to
I've heard
rate it.
just great things for sure.
And
thought about
because I
getting
didn't know
it.
much. What's that?
I've thought about getting it, but
It's on. I think it might be on PlayStation
it is.
Plus. Yeah.
Oh, I
So,
don't know about PlayStation Plus, but
but it is on PlayStation at
yeah.
least now. So it's interesting. They have what we used to call full motion video, right? They have live actors in the world because there's your character is dealing with psychosis because it tells you like it's a warning before you play the game where her
Yeah.
reality is skewed, so she sees visions and memories, and that the visions are all super blurry, but they're live actors, right? It's like a live actor hologram, and that really, I mean, it didn't quite hit the mark on that aspect because she's animated, but
Uh-huh.
all the acting and even the main character was done so well. And my wife was watching it. She's like, they use real actors for like all the enemies and stuff because all the motions were like really well done
Uh-huh.
and creepy. It's very creepy game. But it just clicked with me like it's basically like a crazy person, someone dealing with schizophrenia or hearing voices or blacking out. And
Uh-huh.
I told my wife, I was like, if I ever heard voices, I could see why people would like off themselves, because it's like
Mhm.
this is terrible. And you're supposed to play with headphones. I was like, no way. I can barely handle it playing with the speaker in my house. So I ended up beating it, and I got all the achievements and everything. I don't know what
Oh,
you call the
nice.
achievements on Xbox.
Platinum? Oh, well, yeah.
Trophies.
Is it trophies on
They're
Xbox?
trophies.
No,
Yeah, they're trophies.
they turn into
Yeah.
trophies. Is it platinum
No,
too?
Xbox. Sorry, Xbox is achievements. You were right the first time.
Achievements.
Xbox is achievements,
And what
right?
happens? What is it when you get them all? You
PlayStation's
guys don't
trophies.
know. Yes.
On PlayStation, it's a platinum. On
I don't know
Xbox,
what
I don't
Xbox.
know what it's called.
I don't know. Well, I got them all, and it's not super hard to do that, but like the game is intense. I had to
Yeah.
put it down a couple times and like watch Family Guy or something stupid.
Wow.
It's just like, it, it's just really well done, and I recommend playing with headphones because they made the game that way to be played with headphones. But
Mhm.
just know that it's an intense game, and if you really throw yourself into it, you'll be thinking about it. Like I'm still thinking about that game.
Yeah,
And
that's interesting. And I will say it's on sale for
yeah,
$750 on
I did.
PlayStation right
Yeah, that's
now
true.
for the
That was so weird.
21st.
I just beat it. I saw that too, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is weird, but hey, check it out. And
So
it's not super
yeah.
long either. I beat it in
Yeah,
like a couple
I've heard
days.
it's definitely one of the shorter story focused games. Oh,
Yeah,
it is a shorter story focused game.
and definitely
Uh,
it's very focused on story. So
Mhm.
don't go into it thinking you're getting Elden Ring action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking about focused on story, I'm playing Yakuza still. I still haven't
Zero?
beat Zero yet. Yeah, I still haven't
Oh,
beat
yeah.
Zero, but I've been playing it like crazy. I got stuck doing a bunch of real estate missions to get all the real estate
Nice.
stuff that were
Hmm.
like chapter 5. It took me forever to get past it, but holy crap! After chapter 5, so I don't know if you guys play Yakuza. I know Kyle's played Yakuza.
I
I,
Um,
downloaded the one that was
yeah,
on PS
they
Plus.
gave away
I've watched a
1
lot of
and
them.
Yeah.
7, but 0,
Oh, like a dragon.
yeah, well, yeah, 7 is like a dragon
Yeah,
is number
that's the
7
one I
technically.
have is
Yeah,
like a
gotcha.
dragon.
So the CGI movies or whatever you want to call them
Hmm.
are freaking amazing.
Hmm.
Um, like they're more engaging than most like mobster movies I've ever seen.
Hmm,
So I'm just like watching these and
that's
just like
cool.
on the edge of my freaking seat.
I'm glad
And
you
I
like
didn't
it.
even realize it. Like I forgot a little bit because I did a lot of work, uh, and then I kept coming back to it and doing the real estate stuff. And so it'd been a little while since I've been hitting the more cutscenes. And then I finally finished the stuff I was doing in 5, and then I went to like a chain of cutscenes, and I was just like, "Holy crap, this is intense! Like, what is going on? Oh my, that happened! Oh my goodness!" And I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but oh my goodness, it was just like each thing that kept happening was just a surprise, and I kept getting dropped. Just holy crap! Basically, it's like a big turning point happens in the game around that point,
That's
and it
cool.
just like it just it I was just like, I was starting to look up, like, I've been looking up trying to find more like movies or anything based on the Yakuza, and I can't really find much. Um,
Uh,
from,
there's a few on Netflix. One I can think of right now is Outsider, although that one there was another good one though. I'll have to try and look it up to tell you.
yeah, you have
Yakuza?
to let me know, but I just haven't really looked into any of them. But I doubt they'll be as good as this game is, though. Or these, I don't
Yeah.
know. I've heard they're all very similar. They all have really amazing cutscenes because apparently when they made the PSP one that was only coming out in Japan, they had big
Well,
issues
yeah.
because they were
I was
trying
gonna
to do
say.
the cutscenes and they couldn't do it.
I was gonna
They
say
ended
there
up doing
wasn't
like
one on PSP, but
no,
yeah,
not in
Japan
America.
only. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
But I
Sorry.
did.
It's called The Outsider because Outsider is a video
Oh,
movie. So
yeah.
it's called
Oh,
The Outsider.
I've heard there's like some deep Yakuza drama style stuff, which is what in Japan that is what the Yakuza series is based off of
Hmm.
Hmm.
spiritually. Like it's not actually connected to it at all, but the creator got inspiration from those
Yeah.
types of things. But the story is very intense, and I was like, holy crap! And now I'm like at another part where I'm kind of doing some more mini game stuff with with Majima, and I'm just kind of like part of me is like I want to do this, but I really want to see what happens next in the story now because all that crap went down for Kiru, and now I'm on Majima, and I don't know what happened because it just left him and it just went over to Majima, and I have no idea what happened to Kiru. I have
Yeah.
no
Wasn't
idea.
I don't correct me if I'm wrong, was Zero a prequel? Didn't they come out
Yeah,
with
Zero is a
Okay.
prequel. Yeah, it's technically like in the 80s,
So
but it
they're
came
probably
out I think in 2018 or something. It came out like
yeah.
after 5 or 6, so I
Yeah,
think
so they probably had
5.
to retcon some stuff or try to, so I remember that part of the
Um,
story.
I've heard that it's pretty good. They did a really good job with
Yeah.
it, but I think there probably was some slight changes. I don't know for sure. I haven't gone.
Or
I'm
yeah.
planning on going through them all right now, but there's a lot,
Okay.
so I don't know if I'm going to.
I was gonna ask you
We'll
that.
see.
Are they planning on putting them on PlayStation
They're
Plus?
all on there. So right
Oh, they
now,
are? Okay.
yeah, they're all on PlayStation.
There you go.
But also like 0, 1, and 2 are on the extra, and then
Oh.
3,
What?
4,
Okay.
5. Oh yeah, 0, 1, and 2, and I think 6 and 7 are on extra, and then and then 3, 4, and 5 I
See,
think are on the
This is
they
premium.
this
they
is
gotta get
just
this
starting to
together.
sound confusing.
Well,
They
3 4 and 5 are technically PS3 games
right.
that
They're
they remastered for
technically
4.
retro. I get it, but
So
you
they're
hear this
technically
though?
retro.
Yeah, it
Like,
sounds
this is
like a lot of
it's a mess.
confusion.
And if say
Just get the
if you didn't
premium.
but if you didn't get the premium, then you're like, "Oh, I wanted to go through the
Then
series
you
like you're
have
saying," and it's like, it's a
well, you could
mess.
start with 3 of them, and then you can add the other 2. Well, they're all I will say they were
We
all on
need to
sale
go to
recently
one.
for, like, really cheap. I think my
Yeah.
brother bought about 4 of them for, like, $5 or $6 each, $5 to $10 each. He
I
just bought
had
the whole
one,
series.
I didn't play it very much, but I think it was called Dead Souls on Yakuza
Mhm.
Dead Souls on PS3. I think it was a side story with zombies.
Oh,
During you remember when everybody did
Zombie
zombies, like
Face?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
Red
everybody
Dead
loved the
Zombie Edition,
zombies.
all that. Yeah, I think they did that too. It's getting a little hard to find though. Those PS3
I haven't
games,
even
the
heard of
hard
it, like,
copies.
it definitely was something that was not canon because I know I keep looking up the
Oh yeah,
canon stuff.
not at
Like
all.
I don't think the PSP games are technically canon either. I think they're
Funny
still
enough,
separate.
it's considered a survival game,
Wait.
but
Oh, the zombie one?
the Dead Souls
I
one,
would
yeah.
I know we're not doing the survival thing today, just so everybody know we're gonna skip it, but because Chris wasn't able to join us. But I did have a discussion with a buddy of mine when we were playing Destiny. Um, does zombie survival count? I mean, sorry. survival horror. Did that count in that? Because it's
It's
like a
gonna have
different
to.
genre.
It's gonna have to.
Because I was like
'Cause
thinking about it because we were talking about it. We were like trying to name it because Tomas had mentioned he didn't know many survival games in the Discord. And so I
yeah,
was talking to him about it, like, I was like, we were going through some survival games trying to figure it out. And then that came up as like, is survival and zombie survival? They're technically two separate genres, but do they cross because of the
kind of.
survival?
Yeah, I mean, not all survival games, I guess, are horror games, but it seems like
For
it would
sure.
be
For sure.
because it sounds like a horrible experience to just be barely surviving in those
Well, like
situations.
survival horror is like when you're low on resources, like the original Resident Evil games. Those are
Resident Evils,
survival
yeah.
horror. But then, like once
I
you
would
get to
consider
4, it's like on the edge. I would still consider 4 survival horror, but then 5 is like you're just in shooter
5 and
territory
6,
now.
no, but
Yeah,
7 and maybe even
but
8
7, yeah, it
are.
goes back. Yeah, that one goes back to the basics, but first person.
We'll have to clarify for next time.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. These rules are getting confusing. Uh,
That
that
is
we're
a good
just picking up
question.
as we go. So I just
Week 2, and it's all we already shot
we
ourselves in the
just
foot.
oh my goodness, the rules. We got to find more rules. But anyways, well, we'll get through our little social stuff real quick, and then we'll move on. But by the way, you've been in this far. We are doing a spoiler discussion at the end. I will restate it at when we get there and give a warning. But we are planning on doing a spoiler for Dragon Ball Super Superhero. It is almost out of theaters now. I think by the time this is out, I think it will be out of theaters where we are.
Mm,
So
probably.
we
Oh,
will
good.
be discussing
You know they're
it
gonna
if you
stream
care
it.
at all. So yeah. But anyways, we have our social stuff. We have our Discord that we talked about. Uh, and if you want to join that, I'm going to try to get a link to our Discord in the description, as long with everything else. But we'll see how that goes. But if that's not there, you can contact us on the Twitter at nerd_BS, our email, nerdbackstory@gmail.com, my personal Twitter at ScodMatrix. And if you want to contact Tomas, why don't you give him your little stuff, and then we'll go to Kyle. Just jump in after you when Tomas is done.
Yeah, my Twitter is at TomasFDiaz86. My Instagram is also at TomasFDiaz86. I have a website where I try to post short stories and information about my first book and second book, which I'm working on editing, at tomasfdiaz.com. So check out any of those and get in contact with me if you're interested.
Yeah. And I'm at skybossin_video games on Instagram, and I sell video games. All the links are on the Instagram, so go to there. That's where you want to start. Check me out.
Excellent. And remember, all that information will be in the description. So underneath,
Thanks.
wherever it is on the YouTube. So
Thanks,
uh,
Alan.
no
You do all that
problem.
work, and I mean it.
I do my best for the cause. All right, and we will move on to some real stuff that's been happening recently. We are a little
Real,
behind, but well, real, fake. I don't know what you want to call it.
real
But we talked about
fantasy.
big fantasy. We talked about She-Hulk last week and how nobody wanted to
Oh
watch
yeah,
it or nobody cared about watching it.
yeah.
I think I did mention
Not
that I
super
wanted
excited.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
not super excited. I was actually pretty excited for it, but I think I was
Oh,
the only
okay.
one in the room that said that. But I did watch it. I think these guys watched it. Tomas didn't because he says he doesn't like green women. So I don't know what that's about.
Green.
But
Oh my
it's very
gosh,
specific. I don't know
I can't
about
believe
that.
you just did that to him.
I know. I
Just
just threw him under the
the
bus.
hate
Sorry,
mail.
Tomas. It's gonna come in again.
Send all your
Uh,
hate mail to Scad Matrix
yeah, just send it on over, and I'll forward
at
it over to him.
hotmail.com.
I'll call him up and read it to him at night, like reading him a story. Uh, sorry. Sorry, Tomas. Anyways, She-Hulk. We watched it. I watched it. I liked it a lot. People were getting real mad about the twerking stuff, which I mean, I didn't bother it.
What
Oh,
what
he's not.
what have they been getting mad about with that exactly?
So I
Is there a
don't know. I think
reason?
it's because what I can understand um, is that they didn't want the twerking. Is what I keep hearing is the twerking, and it's also lighthearted. Um, it's
Yeah,
much more
it's
lighthearted than most of it, but
silly.
just the MCU, I don't know the main issues for it. All I keep seeing is the twerking memes that like the back to back picture. The one I keep seeing is where it shows like how the MCU started and how it's going. It shows like Iron Man and his in an epic pose, and then it goes over to a She-Hulk twerking. As even though it was technically a sub credit scene, it's not even part of the actual episode. It's like at the end
Yeah,
after
and
the credits.
they've been doing
So
that every episode, the end credits,
yeah, they've been doing an end credits scene. I think every episode. Yes,
which
which
is yeah, it's a little much.
I don't really like that actually. Because I know a couple of the other MCU ones did it, and the problem is at least I'll give She-Hulk this credit. At least they've done it after everyone. It actually I don't mind it if it's consistent, but when it's
Consistent.
like hit or miss, it bothers me because I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm watching all
agreed.
the credits and now I nothing happened. That's lame. Okay, and
Right,
then
yeah.
then I miss it because like, well, they're not doing it anymore. Then I find out later there was one that I missed, and I'm like, okay, this
Mhm.
is ridiculous. So either do it or don't do this little on the fence thing.
Yeah, so at
Um,
least they're being consistent. I'll agree
yeah,
with that.
and so we won't get into spoilers here, but uh I really liking how it's starting to feel like it's kind of connecting. It's kind of more of a centralized show, if that makes sense, where it seems to be dealing with a lot of the after effects, or at least the after effects of a certain movie that I won't say the name of 'em to spoil it, but it's
Well,
dealing with that, which is cool, and I'm really enjoying it.
trailers
Uh,
did.
Oh, did they really already? I didn't really know, but I really enjoyed the nods towards that particular movie, especially the jokes about it. I don't know if you said you didn't watch the third episode, but they did a joke about it. That was pretty funny. Um, and I'm really digging the lightheartedness of it, and I didn't mind. The twerking was a little cringe, but it wasn't like that big of a deal. It was just like
Mhm.
whatever. I
It
mean,
was. I didn't even
what
watch that
bothers?
one, but I saw
Yeah,
like you said, the hate on it. I was like, "Okay, I
yeah,
don't
it's
think
just really
really it's
weird. It's
that
like
bad."
what bothers me is if that happened in a Deadpool movie and Deadpool was doing it, everybody would
Yeah,
just think it's
no one would care.
hilarious. But for
Yeah.
some reason, it's a big deal when She-Hulk
Well,
is doing it.
Yeah.
well,
It's like whatever.
I know that the actress even stated that she's a huge fan of I can't remember the woman's name, but she's a huge fan
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
not. I
artist.
don't know. I didn't know who she
She-Hulk?
was, and no.
The actress,
The art. It's an artist. She's a rapper.
yeah,
I
but
Oh,
the
forgot her
oh,
name
actress
right now. Yeah,
but the
yeah.
actress who plays She-Hulk, I believe,
is a fan of her.
is a fan
Okay.
of her.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is great,
yeah.
and I didn't know who
Yeah,
she
I
was,
guess.
and that's fine. I don't need to know who she is. My wife knew who she was,
yeah,
so I was because I actually thought somebody made a joke in one of the comments. Was like, I didn't know. I thought she was just a character in the MCU or something. I didn't even know, and I was like, that's kind of how I was, but that doesn't mean I'm obviously not on the pulse of pop culture, so
yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah,
It makes
and
sense if
that's
I don't know.
I'm not either,
Mhm.
and to play the opposite side, of like I'm glad you like it, Alan. It's good, right? But I just I don't like the show. I don't like there's nothing that I really care about that's happening in the show. I kind
Mhm.
of like the story of, without spoiling it, where she ended up going to work and like what she had to do
Uh-huh.
at that
Yeah, that
job.
was a good. They did a good job setting that up. That was good.
Yeah, but yeah, and then I ended up watching like a recap video for episode 3 and I was like, "Oh, okay." Um and I'm kind of done with it. I guess I don't like the lightheartedness of it. It's almost too far and that the action scene in the first episode in the courtroom was like, "Oh, that was pretty bad." I don't know.
Yeah, definitely the first and second episodes. It has been hit or miss with the CGI. I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
sure
not even
what.
talking about the CGI either. Just well,
Oh, okay.
I guess the action is part of it, but it was like the live action kick. And I don't want to give away too much, but in the first episode, and plus the guy that she talked to in the first episode's gone. Like, and I know they're setting him up for something else, but it's like, I thought he was going to be in the whole show. I thought it was going to be both of them kicking taking names, but it's not. He's gone.
Doesn't he come back in the third episode? Or is that
Did
somebody
he?
else? Think so.
No, it, oh well, maybe I need to actually go watch it.
I'll have to
No,
look at
he
it again. I don't know if it's the same guy or not. It was a little white guy. I'm not sure.
no, I'm
Uh,
not talking about the little white guy.
okay, then maybe I don't know who you're talking about. After all, um, I'll have to look at. I'll have to check it again. I don't remember 100%
I
what you're
know who you're
talking
talking
about.
about.
Without
I know that guy.
okay,
I don't. That guy's. He's like the supposed to be the annoying guy that she doesn't
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but he's not really that annoying. She just
What the?
gets annoyed by everything. So
No, I found out with the third in the third episode
yeah,
or in the first
is it
episode.
first and second ones? He's
Okay,
annoying,
so
right?
yeah, the third episode there was an annoying guy, but he was very annoying. Like he was
Mm,
like a big
yeah, yeah,
womanizer, and he actually thought he was like hot shit
yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
this.
No, I know what you're
He
talking
was
about.
very annoying. If that's who you're talking about.
Yeah, and so like I've also been watching like the people that really hate the show, so that hasn't really helped me. But I did go and read like reviews of people that liked it, and I just don't see it. I don't see like the like you said, the CGI was a little weak. There's
Yeah,
not
but
a whole
that's
lot of
I
action,
think that
which
has
is
to do with
annoying.
Disney's problem with the CGI right now in general, because Disney's having issues
They need to slow it
keeping
down then.
CGI artists. They really do.
Yeah,
They honestly need to slow it down and start spending more money on it. Is what they need to do to start
this is
making
because
it
they
look
did
better.
say, yeah, they said that that was their focus, and it doesn't look like it. And so, whatever action they have, it doesn't look great, and it's just few and far in between. And I feel like the story is just a little. I don't really care. I don't really care about the story. So that's where I'm at with She-Hulk.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I can't tell you you're wrong, but I definitely I'm definitely on the opposite court. I'm not saying it's amazing
It's cool.
either, but
Yeah,
I just am enjoying it.
we'll see.
But I enjoyed
Maybe
like
I'll
Miss Marvel as well, and I'm not gonna say it's amazing either. So it was just good.
finish
Um,
it and let it play out
I
like
hope
I did
so.
with Obi-Wan. But that's another
Yeah.
thing. Obi-Wan kind of burned me, right? I was like, let's
Well,
finish out Obi-Wan.
yeah, Obi was really poor. Like even like I keep thinking about it, and it had a lot of problems, and
Does
it
it get
kind of
worse the more you think about it?
I just yeah, it's pretty much it gets worse the more I think about it, and it's like it
Oh, that
just ruined
sucks.
the character that I thought I really liked from the prequel. The one character, one of the few characters I really enjoyed in the prequel
Yeah.
movies, and it kind of went,
So
oh well,
I
don't
know
really
this
like
is
him as much anymore.
I know it's a tangent, but I had a discussion with one of my sisters about this, and she was kind of arguing like, well, maybe he's really distraught about what happened with Anakin. I was like, okay, fine. Like I hated that that's what they did to him, but let's just say that's the story. So by the end of this, what 1 week experience, he's all of a sudden badass again, and he can beat Darth Vader in his prime.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
what? Like Darth Vader's been going around killing dudes, and now Obi-Wan's just like, well, I haven't practiced the Force in decades, so I got to back those. Like no, so it just either way you look at it, they shot themselves in the foot with that one.
yeah. But we
So
talked about that before, so let's
we
move
did.
back.
Yep. I'll stop.
But anyways, yes. So She-Hulk really enjoyed it. But anyway, but Tomas, you got to go check it out. You haven't watched it yet.
No, I need
Are
to.
you still? Are you more or less excited now that you've heard us talk about it?
Yeah, you got both ends now.
I mean, honestly, I had heard that there wasn't a lot of action in it from our friend Brian. So I already kind of knew about that. I also had heard, I believe, from you, Alan, about the things about the CGI. So to be honest with you, unless there's something that really catches my attention, I might be on Kyle with this one, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm still gonna
Yeah.
try it out.
Okay,
Hope you
yeah.
try it
At least
out.
try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give it a shot. I think it's fun, but yeah, I understand uh, that it's not for everybody, I guess. But that's
It's
okay.
just it's just for me personally, after like, cuz I haven't even finished Miss Marvel yet, but for me personally, after Moon Knight, I
Yeah.
was I was kind of at first I really liked Moon Knight, but then the more
You think
like we
about
talked
it, I had that
the
same
more
problem too. Yeah.
yeah, the more we talked about it, the more I think about it, I just ended up becoming more and more disappointed because I was like, there was a lot in that show
There's so much they could have done.
that you could have shown instead of just told me. and I would have been much
Yeah.
more interested. Like, one of the things I'm learning from writing, and I'm not saying that I'm anywhere near as successful or understand the movie business as Disney does, but one of the things that I've been learning that's vital in writing is to show, not tell.
Yeah.
And when your show is doing a lot of telling, I feel like that's a problem because it's called a show, not a lecture. Like, so I don't know. So I am kind of nervous about She-Hulk. I even got kind of so put off of it that I haven't even finished Miss Marvel. I've seen the first episode and I was kind of like, eh.
You
But
know,
I need to get back to I do want to get back to him because I do want to at least see how this
give it a
goes because
shot.
I'm sure I'm not gonna like everything that Marvel puts out because Marvel's just kind of I feel like Marvel's starting to shotgun effect where they're just like, boom, here's a
Mm.
whole bunch of stuff. What do you think? Like,
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
It's
that's
and
really not a terrible idea to start
no,
expanding on some ideas because that's kind of what I wish they would do with Star Wars, but instead we're getting the same things over and over again.
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I
That's
don't
not
mind.
what we want either. So
No, I don't mind if they expand on ideas and such, but what becomes a problem to me is exactly what happened to you with Obi-Wan Kenobi is when they start expanding on people and then they ruin it. And
yeah.
well,
it's
that
like,
I think
well,
I
I'm
think the
done.
difference is this is the first time like we really had like a live action She-Hulk in this universe,
Yeah,
Yeah,
whereas Obi-Wan they were trying to basically
like
bring him
reboot
back from the
almost.
Clone Wars. Yeah, they weren't even
yeah,
rebooting him; they were just bringing him back because people wanted him so bad.
I
yeah.
did. I was really hyped for that one.
I was too. I won't lie, I was too. But I guess what I thought they would do was wait. I thought they would do something separate, not
Mhm.
trying to put
You
him
know
back
what?
into the Skywalker saga again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
I
we
mean,
talked about it. I'll
yeah,
shut up.
Yeah. Sorry, I know.
but
I'm trying to stay away from it, but it is an easy one to compare it to.
It is.
yeah,
Uh,
but anyways, I still haven't ruled them off the table. I've just been watching so many other shows, and with the
there's a
vacation
lot.
that we took,
There's
I've just
There's a
gotten
lot.
way
There's
behind.
Yeah,
other good
there's a
stuff.
ridiculous amount of content to watch. There's things that I talked about with high praise and excitement, like the Orville, and I just have not had a chance to go back to it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't want. I
yeah.
watch that on my own, and I don't
Mhm.
watch it with my family. With my family, it's like we find time together to watch something. Myself, when it's my time, I have to decide what I want to do. And
It's
Yeah.
recently,
YouTube.
it's just been like Yakuza for me.
YouTube. YouTube
YouTube for you,
Reels.
and that happens. I mean, you get on something and that's what you want to watch. You don't really
No,
want
I've
to,
been doing My
want to
Hero
watch something so deep,
Academia.
and then like you're on something else, and that's just in your mood right now. When I got really into Dragon Ball recently, and that's all I wanted to watch and
Uh,
participate in was Dragon Ball stuff. Um,
You
and
know
then
what,
I finally had to pull out from that.
Tomas? You were mentioning showing instead of telling. Have you guys watched the movie on Netflix, Day Shift, with Jamie Foxx?
no, but
He's
I
the
am
vamp.
I am so stoked for it, and Imogen
So
wants to watch it
yeah,
too. So that's the only reason that I haven't
it
watched it
does.
yet.
It does a lot of telling, like unnecessarily,
Oh,
but
really?
it was fun. I
Okay.
like rather than like She Hulk or Obi-Wan, which I was just like, maybe I invested too much. Alan and I were talking about that earlier. Like, maybe my expectations are too high for Marvel and Star Wars. And with Day
Hmm.
Shift, it was like, this is brand new, right? This is a
Yeah,
new
yeah,
IP, and Jamie Foxx is Jamie Foxx, so he's fun to
yeah.
watch. But yeah, it was silly fun. But they did a lot of telling, which like
Hmm.
they didn't even pay it off, which was the weird thing. But yeah, check out Day Shift if you guys want to watch a vampire movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's silly fun.
Um, I'll
Have
have
you
to.
seen it, Alan?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I haven't
This is
even
the
heard of
first you're
it.
hearing of it. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a silly vampire movie, and you like Jamie Foxx,
Yeah.
that's your
Okay.
go-to,
All right. Maybe I'll have to check it out if I find time to
right?
watch something else.
Right.
Uh, but speaking about watching something else, I watched half of the first episode of Lord of the Rings: The Ring of Power. So,
Good 30
um,
minutes.
That doesn't give me hope.
it wasn't because it
Well,
was bad. It
yeah,
was
he
because
had a.
I literally was having problems because there was a lot of noise going on around my house. So it just ended up becoming it to a point where I couldn't focus on it. So we ended up
I
stopping it for then.
I have
It,
heard
well, I
such
never thought about
disparate. opinions on this show. I've read such such like there's no one that's middle ground on this. That everything I've read, everyone's just like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this is
isn't
great,"
it?
or "Oh, this sucks," and
It's
I'm just kind of like,
wild.
Well,
It is a
I
it's a
felt
wild
it
thing.
was good. I was enjoying it,
okay."
but it wasn't like it didn't feel amazing. But it did remind me of how quiet the Lord of the Rings movies are in general.
Dude,
They when they
seriously.
everything is they talk is like so low. It feels like because even in the movies, it gave me flashbacks while watching this. So I'll give you that. It definitely has the tone of those Lord of the Rings movies, like by
Eh,
far. I would
yeah,
argue.
the sleepy tone
Sleepy.
is
Well, I've heard the first episode's a lot of setup, and the second episodes
it's
is much
so
better.
much. I
So,
didn't finish it. I I had 10 minutes left because I had just done. Like, I was falling asleep with that first
well,
episode. It
that's
was
Lord of the
too much
Rings in a
setup.
nutshell.
Yeah, and to be fair, okay,
Do you remember Fellowship of the Ring?
I'm
That
not a
movie is
big
like a
fan.
entire movie of setup.
I'm not a big fan. I actually like Fellowship
I do
because
too, but it's just
first
it's
of all,
very
the
long. It's
actors,
very drawn out. Yeah.
it is very long, it's especially the extended version. The acting is
Hmm.
really good.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason to care,
Mhm.
and there is a reason. I kinda like the story of Galadriel's quest to find an
Yeah.
evil that no one else believes, like, that's cool, but it's not as much weight as the
Mhm.
Fellowship was, if that makes
Well,
sense.
yeah. It won't be. I don't think.
And it's like, so here's my thing with Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and all these, and I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but like we've talked about this before, like let's make something new. Like if they hadn't called it Lord of the Rings
Mhm.
and maybe just gotten a big name
So
actor or actress in there, I'd still watch it and I think I'd like it a little bit better.
So the reason I disagree with you is number one, I don't think most people would care if it wasn't Lord of the Rings. It would just be another fantasy show on Amazon Prime. But another thing
But you could do
is
so much more.
I
'Cause
don't
now
know if you
you have to
can,
retcon all the stuff and make sure that
and I don't
it
think they should
lines
have
up
made a
with.
prequel. I think that maybe they
Yes,
shouldn't have made a prequel, but
Yeah, prequel was
I do think
that's fair. That's a good
people
point.
want and they want more stuff in the Lord of the Rings universe. Because
Yeah, but
Tolkien always designed his world with the intention for it to be expanded.
yeah.
It wasn't until recent copyright laws and the Tolkien dynasty, in my opinion, because I'm not a huge fan of Christopher Tolkien, but that's me. Um, so once they got a hold of it, they of course kept it to themselves because they realized that it had potential. I I understand it's something created by your father, but it was something created for the masses, and I feel like in many ways, if we were allowed to expand on it instead of having to basically try and give, from my understanding, an awkward in between tale, which is between Silmarillion and The Hobbit.
So the thing is I don't know if you knew this, but they do not have the rights to the Silmarillion,
Mm,
which
oh,
I just found that out recently. It's like they have all the rights for I guess there was like books that Tolkien wrote, or they're just like notebooks or something. They have
yeah.
all the rights to those, but they don't have the Silmarillion for some reason. That's the
of
only way they don't have to.
course.
So there's things apparently that are left out on
Mm.
purpose because they cannot use it, which is
Yeah,
a weird thing. I don't know
and
why they did
That is
that.
very
that's
weird.
well, that's kind of my point about the Tolkien dynasty that's been created. Is I'm very sure that has something to do with Christopher Tolkien's reserve about it. Uh, I know that when he saw Lord of the Rings, apparently he said that Peter Jackson butchered his father's story and turned
What?
what was a wonderful romance tale into an action movie. And I was kind of like,
Well,
I don't know what romance tale you're talking about, and I feel like that Tolkien understood there has to be some drive behind the
right.
characters. There has to be some threat, or else you're not going to be interested.
But
Like,
yeah, but anyways, bringing it back to Ring of Power itself, I am also enjoying it. I know that sounds like Kyle's bored or gets bored of it, but
I,
I
and
feel like it was engaging. I was enjoying it. There was a point where
really,
I kind of felt like they were treading a lot of the same topics over again,
Mhm.
yeah,
which did kind of bother
okay,
me.
yeah. See,
Um,
it's like
which I get
get on
that,
with it.
but
Like,
I hadn't I only finished half of it. So, but
Yeah.
the whole beginning
no, it's
sequence where
just the
she's
same.
adventuring was interesting.
Yeah, and then
Uh,
they. Well, I guess I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah, I'm hopefully gonna be able to start watching it this weekend. I think I'm
so
gonna
this
try
was
and
definitely one I really wanted to do, like, as a more of a Mandalorian thing, because I know that Tomas was such a
oh,
big Lord of the Rings
sheesh,
fan,
you guys make me watch
but
this. Well, Tomas hasn't even started it.
jeez,
I
I
know,
Did.
I
know,
gotta
I thought you were gonna watch it, Tomas. I honestly,
I got to.
thought so
I'm
I'm
too,
hoping
surprised you
to get
haven't.
it. I'm hoping to get it started this weekend.
'cause I really
Yeah,
wanna do, like I
just do
wanted to
one at
get
a
deep
time
dive in it,
because by
but
this weekend, 3 episodes will be out.
3 episodes
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, they are an hour each, and
Yeah,
going through
it does.
the even Lord of the Rings movies is kind of a chore because of how
It
long they are,
yeah,
so
it does look good. Okay, I'll give you that.
yes, it
However,
looks fantastic.
I've tried to preface this earlier. I don't know if I said this. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan at all.
Yeah.
I'm probably the least fan between the three of
Yeah,
us.
I'm
Yeah.
not big into the lore, and I've never read the
Yeah,
books or anything, so I'm
I
just kind
actually
of like
did
an
not.
outsider as well.
I did not like Return of the King. I thought it was too long of a movie, especially with the freaking
Yeah,
alternate
I liked all the
endings
movies. I just
that
didn't
they
like the
placed in.
Hobbits.
They were fine. Oh yeah, let's not
Yeah.
get into
The
that though.
Hobbit. Yeah.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah, they didn't need it. Yeah, that's that is kind of here, but it's not there. So the biggest pet peeve, not pet peeve, my biggest peeve of Rings
Mhm.
of Power is the main actress. I don't think she's killing it, and for
Yeah.
this kind of a show, you got to be killing it. And she kind of just bugs me,
Mm.
and I can tell she's acting, which is a big no no for
Yeah.
me, and that's my biggest thing. Like her like the other actors are okay, I guess, and fine. It's just the main actress. She's bombing it for me. That's
Mhm.
my biggest thing. That's so it's like, yeah,
We gotta find something that you like now, to do a discussion about.
I
You
know.
just
It's 2 things in a row I don't like. Well,
I
I talked
know.
about the movie last time. Everything, everywhere, all
Everything,
at
yeah,
once.
yeah, for sure. Everything everywhere all at once.
I
You
could
did
tell you
enjoy
something
that.
I watched. I did like. I like
Okay,
Day
what'd you
Shift.
watch?
Day
There we
Shift.
go. You do like Day Shift. I'll have to look
And
into that
you
now.
you're gonna complain about Jamie Foxx? That dude can
Yep.
act.
I
Yeah, yeah,
I hate him. No, I actually like him. I have no
yeah. You
issues
ever
with
see
James
Spider
Gunn.
Man?
Sorry.
He's
Yeah,
terrible. Yeah,
I
he's like,
actually enjoyed him as a villain in Spider-Man, to be honest. I actually
hmm
liked the Amazing Spider-Man too, so
he was pretty good
nah,
in that.
I enjoyed it. But anyways,
Yeah,
I think that's about. Oh, besides just bashing him more because I haven't seen it enough to really have a
I'm trying not
stance
to
to
bash
argue
it
it.
either. I hope I didn't come across that way. It
Yeah,
looks good. The
Mm.
stories like I said, this the idea of her, finding this evil that no one else believes is there. That's cool, but
yeah.
I don't also believe her. If that
And
makes sense.
because
Mm.
and I would argue too, and maybe it's just it's just me, but I don't know a whole lot about the lore of the Tolkien universe. And so they are explaining a bit of it to me that I haven't really
Yeah,
known. Like the
me
whole
too.
stuff with the elves and things at the beginning, I didn't know all that. I knew bits of it, but it wasn't explained to that
What did
directly.
Before we move on, what did you think of the Harfoots? That whole thing. Did you
Okay,
get to that part?
yes, I got to that part.
Okay.
I mean, like, what do you mean? What did I think about them? They were
Uh,
fine. Like, what about them?
I just felt like it was unnecessary. I'm sure it'll all connect
Yeah,
at
it's
some
going to all
point.
connect. And
But
we had to get hobbits in there. I mean, we got to get.
did we?
Yes, we do because it's literally
Yeah,
Tolkien. You gotta have
he
hobbits. Sorry,
I
I
he
love
it
hobbits.
kind of
references
ruined the pacing for me.
It's
That's all I'm
literally the
saying.
reason I used to play halflings in like every game I played was because of hobbits, and it wasn't because of the movies. Because I actually loved the original animated movies growing
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah.
Loved those movies,
Oh, those
and
are
I
so
loved
good.
and
Nothing
I
will compare
loved
to that.
the book The Hobbit. I never read Lord of the Rings, but I did read The Hobbit a couple times, and so I always loved hobbits in
Yeah,
general.
that is a good book.
So, uh, and so I did create even my first D&D character. I think I made was a halfling, specifically
All
based in
right,
that genre.
fair
So
enough.
I want
I
my
don't know.
halflings, I want my hobbits, I
I
want
just
my
thought it killed
Harfoots, I
the.
guess is what they're called, which I didn't realize. I didn't know what the Harfoot was when they said it. I was like,
I
what is a
know.
Harfoot? I thought it was like
Yeah,
a monster or something. I was like waiting for something to attack them, and then like we started zooming into like the village or whatever. I
yeah.
guess this is kind of spoiler territory. But then I was like, oh,
No,
they're hobbits.
you can't.
Okay,
You can't
that
spoil
makes
episode
sense.
one. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
it's
they
really
don't have the
quick. It's
rights
early
to the
on.
Hobbit
Yeah.
to say Hobbit
No,
or
well, I
something,
think Harfoot
or
is
they
like a
weren't there yet.
they weren't hobbits yet. They're not hobbits until the Harfoots descent. It's like a generation or two later or something. You can correct me if
Was it
I'm
like
wrong,
inbreds or
Tomas.
something?
But that's what somebody explained to me. My sister in law is also a
That
big
ex-
Lord of the Rings
that
fan, so she
explains
said
the
that.
hairy feet. It's the inbred,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
sure they're inbred.
I
I don't know. There's
I
like
would.
there's Harfoots and there's one other one that are like
Yeah,
that.
there's like two clans that kind of
And the
So okay,
Harfoot
the
descended into the hobbits.
patrons.
so then here's
Yeah.
my deal. I didn't really mind the Harfoots themselves, but then there's the other story with the elf on the outpost and that like whole
Yeah.
romance thing, that forbidden romance thing, and like okay, it's one story too much, in my opinion.
Mhm.
They're just trying to
It-
set up a lot of things, but
it's
I
too
can
much.
understand. I can
Yeah,
understand the issues you have. I
that's
didn't really
that's all I'm
have
getting
them,
at.
but I could understand it. Um, and I actually am really looking forward to watching more of it. I just need to find time to sit down with my family, and I might have
It
to
is,
force it.
yeah,
It's
it is
been
a
so hot.
full hour.
We've been like,
It's a
like
full hour per
we want to
episode.
sit down together and watch the movie while it's this hot right now, or do we want to just like try to stay in our own areas and avoid other people's body heat?
Don't breathe on me, please. Yeah,
We don't have
exactly.
air conditioning where I am.
I
Sorry,
know
and so
Tomas
yeah,
has a jacket on right now because
I'm sure because they
he's
have
got
like
that thing cranked.
all the
What?
way up.
What,
It's the meat locker in his house, right, Tomas?
That'd be nice.
dude?
Oh,
I made the mistake
I wish.
of
Yeah, I'm with you. I
agreeing.
wish it was cold. I can't wait till it gets cold.
I
Keep
made the
going.
mistake of agreeing
Oh,
to set the thermostat to 80 today,
uh-huh.
and I almost immediately regretted it. So what was happening was it's been so hot that the AC, we had it at 78, but it's just going all day because it can't really like
Yeah, I can't keep
get
up.
it colder. So
Yeah,
it like in certain rooms though, it's like probably 70, which is like, oh, this is great, right? So, but I even was like, okay, I don't want to just burn all this energy either, just for
yeah.
money's sake. And so I was like, let's turn it up to 80, and I almost immediately regretted it, and I started complaining like, I can't do this. I can't live like
Yeah.
this. My
Oh my
wife's like, all
goodness.
right, just
Yeah,
turn it down. It's
got
like, okay,
fans running to my house constantly.
yeah,
So
I have a fan on me
it
right
is.
now.
Oof, I have one on me as well.
It's
I
supposed to
was
go down the though,
trying really
guys.
hard to make sure the speaker didn't get. I mean, the microphone didn't get pick it up, but I think I did
Yeah.
good. So we'll find out.
Welcome to Weather BS
Oh my
cast.
goodness, it's supposed to be over. This heat,
Yeah,
whatever,
Friday.
supposed to be over. Yeah, we're supposed to even get rain this weekend, so I'm really
Ah,
hoping it cools us down. Oh my god, I'm hoping for it. Anyways, yes, weather BS is moving on. We're moving off the weather now and going over to video games. It's such bad weather that this has got to be a fantasy, right? This can't be real.
this can't be real.
Someone throw that ring into Mordor. We need to get this back down to
Please, for the
normal.
love of God, end it.
All right, well, we're gonna move on to some video game stuff. I threw a couple things on here. So Destiny 2, I know I've talked about it in the past. I started 2 seasons ago. This is the third season I've played now. And I got into it because a couple of friends, my soon-to-be brother-in-law and a buddy of mine, both played it, and just so happens it all synced up. And it also is cross-console, so that got me really excited because sometimes when you find that somebody who actually plays the game you want, they so happen to be playing on a different console than you, and that can be a pain in the butt if it's not cross-console. So this one's fortunately cross console, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And more specifically, the season of Plunder started, I think, on the 23rd. Um, of last month. I think it was either right before or right after we recorded our last episode. I think it was right before.
Mm, mhm.
Uh, but we started it, and immediately it like took us into this cutscene and everything where we started in, and it was, oh my goodness. Let's just put it this way: it's pirate themed. So it's just been like so fun. Like all the armor is all pirate themed, and like the whole premise of the first couple missions is, or the main repeatable thing is like you're on a ship and you're invading another ship, and you're like jumping over and shooting cannons and stuff, and it's just a blast, and everything has just been so fun with it, and like you have blunderbuss shotguns and all sorts of things, and it's just been really fun. I haven't really had a season that's been like this incredible so far that I keep wanting to go back to it. And every week they add a new part of the story that you're watching more of with a spider and everything. It was kind of like the Destiny Jabba the Hutt type character. And the ships themselves that you're using are kind of like a treasure planet style where they have the sails on them and everything. So it just looks just so pirate themed, and it's really fun. And you're just gathering map fragments and going to expeditions to dig up buried treasure and things like that. And it's just been a really good time.
So is
And
it
this
like
is all a sci-fi
space?
universe too. Yeah, it's all a
Oh,
sci-fi
okay, yeah.
universe too, which is just, it just makes it even more just out of, they like, I just love when fantasy really takes this step where they realize their fantasy and they can kind of just do things. It doesn't have to make sense 100%. It can
Right?
just
Yeah.
be
It's
off
not
the
tied to an
walls.
IP that you
Yeah.
have to be it has to be Skywalker in there. It's just let's go have fun. It does sound
Yeah.
really good.
It's really fun. I've been having a lot of fun, and amidst all this, whatever, all this, we have our new expansion was announced, which is called Light something, Lightfall, and it's the next expansion of Destiny, and they've got 4 seasons planned with this one instead of the 3 that we have, and it's looking really cool. It's got this weird, I want to say 80s sci-fi look to it going on. And there's going to be a new subclass for each of the classes, which is going to be, it looks really cool. So it just looks really fun. So I would look into it, and Destiny is free to try it out. So give it a shot, and if you start playing, let me know, and maybe we can play together sometimes and having a good time
Free
with it
to
right now.
play.
It's free to play. The stories do cost money though, but I
Oh,
think if you
there's like
jump in right now,
battle passes and
you
stuff.
get to enjoy. There is a battle pass or season pass, but
Season pass.
it's like the other, like it's like a battle pass type thing where you can do it without purchasing. It's just you don't get all the bells and whistles.
Mhm.
And if you're playing right now, I think, and I hope I'm right. I think if you download it and start playing, you get access to Season of the Plunder right away, so
Ooh,
you can actually participate in it while it's going on, even with a free to play person. I
Nice.
hope
that's
I'm right
cool.
about that, but it's
Yeah.
it's really fun, and it is a big download though. It's like 100 gigs, so yeah,
Oh wow.
make room on your PlayStation. But it is a beautiful game. They do, you could definitely see
Yeah.
the amount of detail. And if you like Halo, I mean, I'm telling you, it feels just like it, the way it plays and everything.
I
Uh,
almost
I
bought
wish.
a terabyte upgrade for my PS5 and
How much
no.
was it? Like a
I
200,
almost
three
it
hundred
was gonna
bucks?
no, it was 100. It was on sale for
Oh,
$100.
100? Oh,
I
that would
should
have
have
been a
got it.
steal.
I should have
Yeah,
got it. I didn't get it. Now I'm
when I
regretting it.
didn't have great internet, I really wanted that memory. But now that I have like okay internet, downloading a game is not that big of a
Just
deal anymore,
just
which is
move games
nice.
around.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's easier to move games around. It used to be I had it because I have an external that I was using for a while to store games, so I wouldn't have to re-download them because it took
Yeah,
a while to
that's an
download, or I had to
option.
go somewhere to download them. But now it's not as big of a deal,
I do
which is
have
good.
a PS4 external drive.
It should
Anyways,
work. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
it'll probably work. I
I have a
just
solid state I bought external for my PS4 back when I was like didn't want to upgrade, and so I was like, I'm going to use this solid state so my load times are better, and it's not the same. You'll get faster load times, but it's not a PS5. It's not optimized like a PS5 is. The load times aren't as good.
yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. That's really good.
But speaking about PS5, we had a little uh news or blog post or news update. It kind of came out and
Yeah,
people started wondering. The
Swift kicked
PS5's been
in the
out
nuts,
for
really.
2 years now. 2 years. This is a
It'll be
two-year-old
2 years
console.
in November, I think, or
Yeah, I think we're at
October or
two
whatever.
years. And everywhere besides it seems like everywhere besides America is getting a
Yeah,
price increase.
I don't know
Yeah.
how we dipped it. It's so weird, but
I think Americans are a little more stubborn because we avoided a lot of like price increases for video games as well for a little while. Because in Canada, video games are a lot higher. In Australia, video games are
Canada.
a lot higher. But some reason we've kind of avoided it. I don't know if they were just afraid because we're more. I think in Americans a little more stubborn about or get a little more angry and start a big more buzz about things. I think I don't know. That's just guessing. But we were avoiding it for a while, and I guess we're avoiding this price increase as
Wait a
well.
minute. Can the PS5 play Ultra HD Blu-rays?
Theoretically, yes, it can. I don't know if it's doing it yet, but it's supposed to have the capability. It's on the box.
Oh, well, I need a Ultra HD TV, I guess.
I don't think any games are compatible with it yet, but I could be
I know,
wrong.
but I want the movies though. I know.
Oh
I
yeah,
just I see
I
the
think it
Ultra
does
HD
ultra.
movies, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have anything to play it. But
yeah.
Yeah.
You got a PS5, so
I
you do
know
have something to play it.
that's another thing. Side note: there's only a couple games that are even exclusive to the PS5, and I don't know if any are really utilizing the capabilities of it. Maybe the
No,
new Last
because
of Us,
supposedly
but
like PS5 can also do 5K, but no games are even utilizing that
yeah,
yet. That's too much.
r-
Too much. Uh,
do
too big of a
it.
deal. I don't know. Do it.
It's
Yeah, I
well,
don't
2
know.
years out, like 2 years out, and they can't do it. That is surprising to me.
Yeah, it got a lot of capabilities, but nothing's utilized all of it. But I mean, I don't think they ever utilized all the capabilities of the PS4, or if they did, it wasn't until like I think
Yeah, maybe
like the samurai game that came out towards the end. I think that was like the
Ghost
game
of
that was like the
Ghost
swan
Tsushima.
song. Yeah, to Ghost
Ghost
of
of
Tsushima
Tsushima.
because they
Yeah.
utilized the most of the power of the PS4,
So
which was like the
so then,
last. It came out with the last year or two of the
can
PS4's
we slow
lifetime.
down a little bit then, and like let it
You're not wrong. Yeah,
like
you're not
just in
wrong.
general? Can we all just slow down a little bit? Let the software catch up to the hardware a little bit,
Yeah,
and then we can work on
it's
the next
it's.
console
I think it's easier to make like more powerful hardware than it is to make software
to utilize it.
that utilize it because the more complex games get, the more manpower, the more expensive they get. So they gotta
Yeah,
they gotta balance that. So
I
they try
know.
to. I
It
guess they
needs to
try
be
to
more of a
make.
balance. First
Yeah,
world
I agree.
problems, I get it, but still.
But anyways, we got so in the UK, it used to be 500, I think, pounds or Europe. So this is the euros, I think. So
Oh yeah, Europe.
yeah, 500 euros, but now it's going to be 549. So they're going up 50 pretty much in both the digital and the physical. It looks like, and then I don't know what it was in the other ones, but they're all going up quite a bit. You can go see the blog
Probably,
to
yeah,
look at
around
it.
$50
But
each,
it's
maybe a little bit
roughly
more in
50
some.
bucks each, I think is what it comes down to if you converted it to dollars for most of them.
Which is
Um,
significant.
which is a big increase, and this is like I think this is the first time this has happened. Usually at 2 year
Yeah.
mark is when if you're gonna get anything, you're gonna get a lowering in the
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
is we're getting a raise in the price. Well, the same thing happened with Meta recently.
Meta?
August, I think this is the Meta is Facebook. Sorry.
Yeah,
They made
Facebook.
the Oculus.
Yeah.
Um it came out a while ago, and I think August was the last month or the first month of the new price where that device actually went up $100.
Ooh, really?
So
Oh.
yes, um, so
Huh.
this
I did
is
not know that.
yeah, it went up because Meta said I guess they couldn't take a hit on it anymore. I don't know, but it's a thing
That's
that happened.
so
This-
I get like with the PS5 supply and demand, right? Like they can't sell them fast enough. So
Yeah, they're claiming it's an inflation thing, but I'm
sure.
guessing it's more akin to what you just said, supply and
Yeah.
demand.
and I'm not even too mad about it. I get it, right? And I doubt it will help people who haven't gotten one yet get one, that's the
Yeah,
frustrating part.
which sucks. Yeah.
I get like if I have a business and I'm selling out faster than I can make stuff, I'm going to raise the price. You have to, right? Until you
Right.
have stuff just lay on the shelves. Um, the Oculus thing, if what you're saying is true about they just don't want to take a hit on it anymore, that seems backwards. They need to reduce the price so that more
Mhm.
people will buy them. They get rid of them and they start developing one that will make money. Anyways, I'm not a business major. I don't claim to be. Um, it still sucks to have a price increase when a lot of people probably don't even have one yet.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
the
And
but I mean, for us here, the U.S. isn't getting it. I don't know how we slipped out of that.
yeah,
We're
I don't
stubborn,
know.
like you said.
And yeah, I know
We would
where
riot.
I think Americans are more vocal about things like that. But I mean, this is still. I mean, the buzz still went up for this. I remember when it came out, people were still complaining.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it's
maybe
just
I'd have heard
it's
more
a
if it
scary
came
thing
to America too. It is. It really is
because
because this is the reverse of what we're used to.
I'm going to throw Nintendo in this mix. They haven't raised their prices, although the OLED is $50 more than the normal
Yeah, but
Switch, I
it's an
guess they're calling it.
upgrade. It's
It
got a nicer screen.
sure, but you'd think after it's been out for 5 years now, like you said, we should be seeing price drops. The Switch has never gone down in price. Again, it's supply and demand,
Yeah.
but come on, throw us a freaking bone here, right? Take
Yeah.
25 bucks off and whatever.
And speaking of the Switch, and I agree with you. And we now have our another. So we have our Splatoon Switch OLED that
Oh
came
yeah,
out,
that one looks
um,
cool too.
and now we have our Pokemon Scarlet and Violet themed OLED Switch. And there's even, and this is all 100% rumor of stuff I've seen. Um, there is
Get a clarification.
a new patent out for another Switch possibility, but doesn't have a lot of information, and so people are speculating a Breath of the Wild 2 themed Switch.
Wow.
I People keep saying that it's like the new Switch, but I feel like it's most likely like the Breath of the Wild one from the pictures I've seen, and you can look that up yourself if you'd like to look more into it. There's not much about it. There's just some YouTube videos and what here and there of people speculating. But still, that's a lot of. I mean, we're getting a lot of specialty OLEDs just back to back right now.
Well,
And
and
these ones are like
is it?
really like uniquely designed. It's nothing like the only one I forgot about the Animal Crossing one that you brought up, but the only
Hmm.
other one was the Mario one, right? Which was just red. It didn't have many Mario stuff on it, as far as I
There's
remember.
there's a
And you said there's a
Monster Hunter one.
Monster Hunter
I don't know if
one.
it's American though.
I think that might have been Japanese only because I know there was also a Dragon Quest one that was only in Japan, but that one was just
Oh,
Joy Cons.
oh
That was
yeah.
just Joy
Well,
Cons slapped on it.
and that's what I was going to say. For me, it's the Joy Cons. I actually don't really like the dock on any of them because
Well, I
I
like it
kind of
because it
just
has a
like.
LAN cable, but because mine doesn't yet.
Oh well, okay, but yeah, I
Port,
like
sorry,
that.
LAN port.
I like I like that. I actually do utilize that. I meant the graphics on the front. I actually
Oh
just like
yeah,
it plain because it's not the actual console. It's the
I
dock
don't
for it.
know. Okay,
I don't
so
like I don't like any of the special docks. I don't.
kind of
I just like
a
it plain.
side thing, but I just to go with you on that because when the Switch came out, do you remember the people saying the docks were scratching the screens? This is a long time ago.
Hmm.
Okay, so
I
when that
remember that.
happened, there was a lot of people on Etsy that were selling these socks to put on the front of it to prevent that happening. I bought one, so my Switch
You
actually has the Triforce logo on it
have a dock
because of
sock.
that. So I have a dock sock. I've never got
Um,
rid of it because I still have my
that
original
sounds cool.
Switch, but it looks cool and it matches my little Joy Cons. So I think I'm the opposite. I actually enjoy that this is a themed one.
The other
Um,
thing about the OLED is the kickstand is an actual kickstand.
Yeah, uh-huh.
It's
My son has an OLED and it is beautiful. That
it's
kickstand
really
is
nice.
much better than I have a little phone holder that I use for mine that was using my for
Oh
my
yeah.
phone.
Uh huh.
but I use it for the Switch as well because that little kickstand sucks.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
scary. Um, now, me complaining about the dock, I will go. The back art on this Pokemon one is great, and the Joy Cons are fantastic. I love all the special Joy Cons. They need to invest more in
yeah.
that. Really, do more Joy Cons.
I'm too afraid of Joy-Cons. Okay, and also a PlayStation 4 controller. So I had a bad experience with I know my brain just went off because of
Yeah.
Joy-Con drift, and I got the Kingdom Hearts 3 PlayStation, and I was really excited.
Mm-hmm.
And I played through Kingdom Hearts, and I loved it. Even the third one, I know it wasn't as great as the second one, but it was still really good. Um, but my Kingdom Hearts controller, I was playing a different game and it just started drifting. And now my Kingdom
Mm-hmm.
Hearts controller, it's a bad drift too. And it was my newest controller. And I was really upset about that. So so like comes back to these
That
themed
can be
ones.
fixed.
Yeah,
But
but you have to like buy a new stick or something because I was
yeah,
afraid to send it in
well,
because they always have these warnings if you send them in. It's like, oh, if we don't have the same one as yours, we might send you a different one. I was like, well, I don't
yeah,
want you to send me a
just
different one. I have a Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts themed controller. This thing was not easy to get a hold of. So now I need to I need to honestly
I
go
could
around and find someone to replace it
I
or
could
fix
I
it.
could do it for you. I've done it before. It is a
So
good
maybe I
amount
have
of
to
work
check it
though.
out. I need to go
I
find the
yeah.
controller. I think I buried it somewhere now because I was like, I'm not getting rid of it, but I can't use it,
Yeah, don't get
so
rid of
it's got to
those.
be put away. No, of course not. That controller is beautiful.
That scares me because
That console's beautiful.
I have a Dragon Ball one and
Uh
I
huh.
have the Uncharted one for
Yeah.
PS4. I like that controller a lot. The PS4 controller.
No, it's very
I love it.
comfortable. I agree. I actually would argue. I don't know. I don't know if I could choose between the 5 or the 4.
You
I
know
really
what?
like the 5. The 5 is very
You know,
comfortable
I
too.
you know what's weird is I had drift in one of my controllers and for PS4 and I noticed it with Kingdom Hearts. It might maybe Kingdom Hearts is causing the drift because it didn't start until I played Kingdom Hearts 3. I kid you not. It's the
I'm
weirdest
not
thing.
denying that didn't happen. It just seems like a stretch, but I'm
I
curious.
know. Oh, I know. It's a total stretch, but let's just roll with it. Let's just go with it and see what happens.
Well, I will say once my Kingdom Hearts controller got drift, I just switched to my gold controller, and that one got drift. And that was my second newest
What?
one.
Oh,
Yes, though it's contagious. So don't put your controllers together when they have drift, because it'll just move
it's
back and
the
forth.
COVID of controllers.
I don't
Um,
know, but that did frustrate me because those are my two newest
that
controllers,
is
and those ones got drift, but not the older ones. That made me buy new batteries for my older ones because, like, that's it. I'm using the older ones. I don't know what they did with these new ones, but I'm using the older
that's
controllers because these
weird.
ones
Yeah,
are fine for some reason.
that sucks.
It
Yeah.
bothered me,
And then we got
obviously.
Tomas over here with the Switch Lite. Just
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know what
man.
he's doing anymore. He's just
All
like,
I need.
were you gonna say something?
I said that's just all I need.
It,
what
I
about
have
yeah?
the
What about
Switch
you,
Lite.
Tomas? You like Pokemon. This
I
is the
haven't used it.
Pokemon
Yeah, I'm
OLED
not gonna
now.
buy this
Come
though.
on,
No,
it's for the new
no,
Pokemon game. Don't you love Pokemon? I
no.
thought you were a Pokemon fan.
I do like Pokemon, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna waste my money on something I don't need.
But look
I
at it. It
mean,
looks pretty. Have you seen the picture of it? Look at the picture. I
this
Yeah,
put a
I've
link
seen a
there.
he is
picture of
not
it.
the
I've seen
market
pictures
for
of it.
this.
No,
I
I'm
know he's
definitely not
not.
the market.
I don't like Pokemon at all. I don't play any of it, but I want those Joy Cons.
The
So
Splatoon one looked really cool too. I won't
yeah,
deny it. Like
Splatoon
I
one looks
kind
good.
of I thought I never really thought about it, but it did look really cool. Like if I was gonna get one, I probably would have got that one because that was really cool. This one looks really cool too, but I don't. Again, I don't. Yeah, like you said, I don't know if I really want to spend the money on
I
it.
don't
I'm
want.
with you, Tomas. But you don't have a
Yeah,
dockable one, so I thought maybe this would be
No,
like
but
it.
I don't like playing my Switch on a dock. I use my Switch for when I
it's a
go
handheld for
on a
you.
trip. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's what it
it's
is.
cool. I mean, you're not the target market, but they got you
No.
anyways. With
Yeah, they
That's
got
what I
me with
meant.
they got
one.
you. Yeah,
Poke,
I
it's
bought one.
yeah.
Pokemon on your 50-inch screen is a life changer. I'm telling
Dude,
you that.
I think those Switch Lights are gonna be the rare ones. I have a feeling because
Possibly.
they didn't market them. I feel like
Yeah,
they're
they
done
go
with
on.
them.
I keep every once in a while I want one just because they are much more convenient to take with you.
It does.
But
Yeah.
It's the handheld. It's the true
yeah,
handheld of the Switch.
yeah, because the Switch is kind of bulky. It's kind of
Yeah.
heavy when
And
I use it on the go.
have you seen the Joy Cons I use? It's like freaking.
Oh
with
yeah, you
gorilla
have the
hands.
phone one. But those are more ergonomic though. They're like really
Yeah,
nice.
but they don't fit in any of the cases I have.
So
So
I bought one like that until it scratched my controllers, but I had
what?
there was a what was it? A lot of people were promoting it for a while. I can't remember I don't remember the name again, but it was
The
scratching
horror
the side
ones?
of my older controller. No, they were Satisfy or something.
I don't know.
Uh Satisfy grip, yeah, that was right. That was the right one. So the Satisfy grips, they were being promoted by like a lot of people, and so I bought one before they made a newer version, which I don't know if this was the
Mm.
reason or not. I just remember when I bought it, it was on sale, and there was a newer one coming out apparently that I didn't know about until later. But it actually was scratching the sides of my controllers. But it came with a case and everything, and it was comfortable. But when it started scratching the side of my blue controllers, and then I got the Zelda controllers, I was like, I'm not putting this on my Zelda controllers because it's just going to scratch the paint off. And I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. So I didn't end up using them, but that was a decent one. But it actually came with a case which fit the whole thing. So I guess you don't have that option for the ones you have, I'm assuming.
I do have a giant case, but it's just at that point it's not like portable anymore. It's like an extra
You just want to like
suitcase.
bust out your like when you bring your. I don't know if you probably never had a gaming laptop, but I had one, and it was like when you bring it
No.
out at school or something, it was just like this beast. It's like, yeah, you know what I use this for, uh, and it ain't normal data computation. But anyways, we we have. Well, we didn't get any tabletop stuff, but we do have an indie of the week this week, which is I'm not even going to pronounce this. This is on you. You can butcher this, Kyle.
Oh,
It's on you.
that's fine. I think you said it right earlier. Gorga, Gorgora is how I say it, I guess.
See, I
But
said it. I probably said it right, but now I'm going to say it way off. I
yeah,
know what's going to
now
happen.
we're all wrong because I just said it two different ways. Gorgora is it's a game on all platforms. So whatever one you got, I put the link for you guys to the Switch one because that's the
Yeah,
easiest. I played it on Game Pass because I've been wanting to play this game for a while now. I kept seeing it, it caught my eye. No pun intended, because the cover art is an eyeball.
yeah.
But
I was going through the art, and you said caught my eye, and there's a big eyeball right there. I was like, oh, hey,
yeah,
look at that. It's all
so
synced up.
if you haven't learned by now, I like slightly creepy games. Nothing too crazy. Like I don't like the outright like Until Dawn horror stuff. I don't like that. But I like something with a little mystery. And this is a simple puzzle game that has a cool little mystery to it. Short game. I beat it in one sitting. Well, one day. I have kids, so one sitting is an exaggeration. But I beat it in one day, and what's cool is there's four panels you play with, and you move pictures around, and you place them on top of each other, and they can do different things. And you zoom into certain ones, and then you place that on top of another one, and it interacts with each other. And you go through the story. There's zero dialogue throughout the whole thing, but there's a story that you're watching, and you know exactly what's going on. And I think that in itself is impressive, right? Zero dialogue, zero even text, really. Other, maybe a couple tutorial things to tell you how to play it, but zero text, zero dialogue, and you know exactly what's going on. And you like, I wanted to know what happened. And so it's a puzzle game for sure. It's on Game Pass, which, by the way, I really love Game Pass. I'm digging it. And
Yeah, PlayStation needs to catch up. I'm loving PlayStation
they do.
Extra and everything, but they need to catch
Yeah,
up. They
they
are adding more, but they need to catch up.
yeah, they need to add a few more, and then they just need to centralize it to one. Everything's in one. I don't like we've talked about this before, the premium and extra, but yeah. So I'm all Game Pass right now. Not saying dislike PlayStation Plus, but I'd rather have Game Pass. And so yeah, uh, Goragoa is my indie of the week. Very short game.
Gora,
And what's
Gora.
interesting though, at the end of the game, you unlock the demo version of it, and there's an achievement or trophy if you play it on PlayStation to play through the demo, and it's like a totally different. Like the demo takes pieces of like the whole game and puts them into like this 5 minute demo, and it's like it's really fun, and it
That's
really
cool.
hooks you. If you're looking for a puzzle game, something that you want to play for a day or 2 days, if you take your time, check out that game.
All right. And
The physical
I
version of
agree.
it is stupid. It's not worth it. Buy it digital. Seriously.
well, if you don't want to pay the Switch premium price of 14.99,
Yeah.
it is also on sale on the PlayStation
Is it
Store
really?
for 4.49.
That's. I mean,
Also
$10 is
ends,
good.
yeah, also ends on the 21st. So
Oh, you got some
give
time.
'em- you got a little time, to think about it, but 450 for this game. So check it out, support the developers, or play it on Game Pass. Sounds good. All right. So it looks like we're on to our spoiler section. We are not doing soapboxes this week. We're going to discuss the hopefully Academy Award nominated, at least,
Dude,
for animated feature, Dragon Ball Super Hero.
I
Um,
think. I mean, I feel like you're joking, but
I am, but it'd be cool. I'd be like to see it happen.
I feel like it could for animation.
Yeah, it was
I
really
feel like
well animated.
Yeah, the animation was good. I was a little nervous about the fact that it was going to be computer.
CGI'd.
I
Yeah.
was concerned as well, and I'll give you that. And even the first time I saw it, I think it was partially due to seeing it in IMAX,
Hmm.
with it
Mm,
really blown up.
hmm.
At least at the beginning, it took a bit for my either my brain or my eyes to adjust to the different art style. But once I adjusted, I was completely fine, and I could totally see it going further. I'm curious what this means for like the actual anime, or the movies in the
Yeah. Oh,
future,
I
if we're
didn't
going
think
to
about that.
continue doing CG. Because I think Berserker
Yeah.
did CG. They started doing CG, and people had an uproar, but that was a while ago. And I
Yeah,
think CG has definitely
people had a
moved.
fit.
CG has gotten better than it has in the past. So, and also Toriyama's style is a lot simpler, I think, than some
Hmm.
of the other animes, but I could be mistaken. But anyways, so the CG style, I liked it. Sounds like we all
Yeah.
liked it,
I did
which is
actually
good,
like it.
because
Yeah,
we were. I know I was worried, because at least
I was too.
the original trailer had it look like it was like a video game cutscene at first. And honestly, with how
Yeah.
powerful consoles are, this totally could be in a video game. Honest, at least the
I'm
cutscenes.
surprised they didn't make a video game tie-in. Like,
Well, they have their Xenoverse, and so I think that's where all the
Mhm.
tie-in stuff usually goes now. They don't usually make
yeah,
tie-in
they're
video
missing
games
out
anymore.
though. They need to.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Well, I mean,
I,
I know,
the market's
I
shifted. I get
know,
it.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z had announced that they have finished
Yeah,
their DLC finally, right before this movie came out,
yeah, I
and so
know.
people are getting kind of
Again,
pissed. It's
missed
like,
opportunity.
really?
Yeah, really big
Yeah,
missed opportunity for sure. Because
because
yeah, this movie actually was the number one movie its opening weekend. Right now,
really, I didn't know that.
yeah, it didn't go up against anything crazy. There was an Idris Elba film that had come out. I forget what, but still, the fact that it was the number one movie at
Yeah.
all, like even if it went against you know nothing, it's still that
Yeah,
means something, right? There's still a Dragon
it
Ball
it
fan base. There's probably a new Dragon Ball fan base
yeah.
that's wanting to watch it. And
I
what's
know.
funny is I talk to my students. I teach at a middle school, and there's several. There's like 8, 9, 10 different students I talked to that did see it, right? And a lot of them were like, my brother took me to go see it, my older brother, and it's like, okay,
Hmm.
I get it, but there, it's there, it's carrying on, which is cool.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Um, yeah, I saw it twice myself. I went to see an IMAX, and
Did
I
you?
saw it in a regular. Yeah, I
Did
uh, mem-
did?
So when we went to go see it, actually, Brian was going to join us, a buddy of mine, but his car broke down, so he didn't make it
Oh,
out.
that sucks. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't bring it up because he didn't make it anyways. So I was texting him through the day, and I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I ended up
It
seeing it with
was,
him a different
man,
day.
that heat out there. We saw it in Palm Springs.
Yeah. Oh
Whew,
man, we
that's
we
I don't
walked
know how
around
people
the
live
little
out there.
village area too, and it was killer.
It's a literal
Uh,
desert out there. They just got sand everywhere. Like, what are you doing out here?
Anakin's nemesis. Uh,
Anakin would have slayed the town.
they're basically Tusken Raiders out there, I guess.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was rough. The heat's been nuts, and especially out there in the desert, was really rough.
And that was
Uh,
before the heat wave. So,
yeah,
anyways,
I was before the heat wave, but anyways,
you missed out some.
so we had a
Yeah.
good setup. Piccolo definitely held this movie for sure. He was
Yeah.
definitely the
He
highlight
was the
uh,
antagonist or the protagonist.
protagonist. He was definitely so. This is kind of like his movie. It
Finally,
felt like we got a little bit of. We haven't really seen Piccolo in his natural habitat in a long time, where he's kind of secluded. I didn't even realize he had a house. I forgot he had a little house out there.
yeah.
I saw the house and it reminded me of Boo's house at first, but I was like, oh yeah, no, that's actually Piccolo's house. I forgot he has a little house.
I do love how he holds cell phones
The cell phone, yeah, it
and
just looks
technology in
alien.
general. Oh,
I love it. Yeah, that was great.
that was a nice
Um,
touch.
how'd you feel about Pan? I mean, this is our first time seeing Pan outside of GT
Let's say,
as like a 5-year-old now instead of the little babies. She's been a baby in
yeah.
Super for a while.
What do you
Uh,
call it when you kill a storyline? Like you decon it? Like because GT is no longer canon, obviously.
Yeah.
So
It okay,
I
so
loved her in
therein
GT.
lies okay. So
Oh boy,
GT
here we
is
go.
still technically canon.
No, it's
And
not.
the reason is technically Dragon Ball has like a multiverse now.
Oh, okay.
It's not
See,
just one line
no,
anymore.
no. Then it's
Not one
not.
line
Don't.
anymore. It's all over the place. It's all over the place.
Of
Well,
course it is,
okay.
but it's
Well, okay.
terrible.
Okay, but here's what's getting to me, right? So did they reverse
I mean, I
Super
don't know.
Saiyan?
I'm not
Shut up
Akira
and listen.
Toyama, so
Shut
maybe
up
I
and
can't.
listen.
No,
Shut
you
up
be
and listen.
quiet.
What is this question?
I'm
Hey,
sorry. Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
so did they make the Super Saiyan 2 go back to having black hair?
No,
No, that's Gohan's.
new
What is
form.
it?
Yeah.
True power. When
So,
he fought Boo, he
oh
doesn't
yeah,
need to
that
go.
one.
He doesn't need to go Super Saiyan. The Grand Kai released his true
Yeah.
power. What I forgot what they call
Oh,
it.
that's what it was. Okay.
And
See,
it
Yeah.
I
was
had
better than
forgotten
Super
about that.
Saiyan.
See, I forgot about that because I was watching that and I was like, wait, so is he Super Saiyan 2 now? And they just changed the hair? Like I had
No,
forgotten all
he
about
skipped it. He skips
that
that
thing.
altogether now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So okay,
forgot. Yeah,
so what I was stoked about was the fact that like you were saying with Piccolo, like yeah, he deserved an upgrade by now. Like
oh yeah,
I felt like
Potential
it was
unleashed.
I felt
So to
like
speak.
it
yeah.
was way I felt like it was way overdue for him to have like a
He's
new
had.
I know there's like
He's never
one
had a new
point where
form. He's
he
never had a
gets
new
like
form.
yeah, he gets like buffed up when he can absorbs Kami again. Or was it vice versa? Was it Kami absorbed him? I don't
He
remember.
absorbs everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. So like
and Nail.
so so he so like he kind of gets upgraded then, but he doesn't have like a new form. And I always
Right.
kind of felt like Piccolo kind of got robbed. Like I was like, he should get something.
I felt that way too. Not just because he didn't get a form, but that he didn't do much. Right. Like it's always been Goku. Right. Even in the
Or
movies.
Vegeta. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Vegeta has gotten his time in Super now,
Uh,
but
uh, can we deter from this and go talk about the story for a minute, and then we can get to the transformations
Alright.
later, because that's the
Alright.
end of the movie, guys.
But the
yeah,
transformations
Tomas,
were
you
the
did
best
jump
part.
straight to it.
But the transformations are my favorite part. Okay,
But
so
yeah,
like
but
that's
okay,
what
Alan
I
needs
go
the
to
linear.
watch.
Alan
I
needs
need
his
some I need
linear
some I need
stuff.
some a track here. I just want to at
But
least talk. We gotta at least give Gamma 1 and 2 some respect. They were,
Yeah, yeah,
I thought they
yeah.
were great
yeah,
I'll give them some
they're pretty
as
respect.
cool.
as antagonists,
I
and
mean,
I
they
thought
were
they were
kind
very
of like
interesting.
another. Okay, for me though, it was kind of like just watching Android 17 and 18, kind of again, only on heightened hero like
Yeah,
level.
they're definitely in a heightened hero mode. How'd you feel about the young kid? I can't remember his name right now. Dr. Zero's
Oh
grandson.
yeah, Doctor.
He was fun.
Oh God, what was his name? Yeah, I mean he was fine.
That whole storyline with them even tying Red Ribbon actually worked for me.
I really
I
felt like
really
I
liked
was
it. Yeah,
watching. I really felt like I was watching Dragon Ball again for some of the moments.
yeah.
Like
They would definitely went back to that feel on
the
purpose. Yeah, to give
the
us some more of that.
the silliness was there again, which
Hmm.
I freaking loved. I was having a good time laughing because like I don't know. I never felt Dragon Ball took itself. I never felt like Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z took itself very seriously until the Cell Saga. I could be just
Mm.
wrong, but I
Uh,
never felt like
it comes in
Frieza.
waves. That's the I think that's the joy of Dragon Ball Z is you have the serious moments, but you have it intertwined with the more silly stuff to kind of mix it up,
Yeah,
and it gives
didn't
it a little
Yeah.
more humanity.
they even mentioned that Piccolo couldn't drive, which was like a filler episode of his Dragon Ball
Yeah, from
Z,
the
where
anime.
they tried
Yep,
to get the license. Yeah,
yeah. I
Yeah.
never got my license. I love that.
that was a good
Yeah.
nod because I remember that episode and being like, "What the heck are we watching? Like, why did we need to
Yeah.
watch?" It was silly, it was fun, but at the same time, it had nothing to do with the story or anything. But it was just a filler episode,
A
which
little wink and
then
nod.
later on
Yeah.
in life, I learned that is a thing in anime. There's lots of
It's very
Yeah.
filler.
common, yeah, especially in Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z because they couldn't keep up with the story. Well, they were going too fast for Toriyama. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. So I thought that was really cool. I liked Magenta. I
I
thought it
did,
was
yeah.
funny. I
I
love
like.
the dome on the car with the for the hair for the.
Yeah,
I
that
did.
was
Yeah, I remember
at first when
you
I
said
saw that at
something out
first.
loud
Did you? Oh yeah.
when you saw it. You're like, "It's for his hair." I was like, yeah, it was good.
Because I didn't get it at first when they just because they
Yeah.
just show like over the top, and I was like, ah, that's a weird
I,
looking car, but it's Dragon Ball, so it makes sense. And then like you see it inside the car later, and you could see his hairs in the dome, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
It's a great
yeah,
that's
I
why
idea.
it's there.
didn't understand it either at first. I was like, is that some kind of turret? Like what's going on with this thing? Like and then yeah, when I saw that I was like, oh okay, that makes sense.
As
Like
someone who doesn't fit in cars as it is, and once in a while I do my hair, I actually want that vehicle.
Yeah, I won't lie, I thought about you because that guy's a very tall gentleman as well.
I
And I
can't
remember
fit in
driving in one of your, I think it was the Bug or something, where you're
the
just
bug.
barely
Remember that
fitting in there.
summer? Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that was a joke. Yeah. So I
but
don't fit my
anyways,
wife's
yeah.
car right now currently.
Oh
Toyota
wow.
makes tiny cars, and I
mhm.
have to like lean all the way back or tilt my head. It's anyways. It's a tough life I live, guys, but
Well,
I
we'll come
make the
back to your TED
sacrifice.
talk later. Um, but anyways, let's see. I'm trying to trace the movie here. He infiltrated it. That was really cool. But yeah, I guess we can move towards the end. Unless there's anything else you want to bring up.
I
It
Oh
sounds like
no,
you guys
no,
want
no.
to talk
Don't let
about the
us
I
don't let us rush you, Alan. Don't let
I
us rush you, please.
I
what's
liked
up, Kyle?
that Gohan was also kind of a bad father, but in a different regard
Oh yeah, I
than
love
Goku.
that. And
I
Piccolo
mean,
made a big deal to call him out on it. And I loved
yeah,
it.
like that was a cool like
Although
story.
the way he planned to call him out on it, let's talk about Piccolo's parenting methods. I mean, come on, like, oh yeah, let me kidnap the little girl, and that way we'll snap the dad out of it. It's like, dude, that's like
No,
a little extreme.
Well, to be
it
fair,
did.
he understood that she was in no danger. Like she knew how to fight. It wasn't like a thing. Like he
Yeah, but
knew that she was fine and she was going to be able to take care of herself and that he was going to be around close by anyways.
I
Well,
mean,
So,
and
I'm just being real. He wasn't the best. It wasn't the best figure for Gohan. I don't know if he's the best figure for Pam.
exactly. And Piccolo also knew he probably couldn't beat Gamma. And then
yeah.
he saw there was
Yeah,
another
yeah, no,
Gamma,
that was fair.
and so he kind of had to go along with whatever the scheme
And to
was.
figure something
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah, no, that was fair. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny the extremes, which was a lot of that movie
There
was
was. I
extremes.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
Like,
it's like you said,
it's
it
Toriyama
was
in
on the
general.
silly side, and so you got to
mm,
just go with it.
You can definitely tell Toriyama had his hands in this mixture
True, very
heavily.
true.
mhm.
Uh, I did like I don't know. Did you guys How did you guys feel about the false danger transformations? Like how Piccolo put Pan in like a false sense of danger to try to show Gohan to get him to essentially
Oh,
break.
Well, yeah, that was another, like, kind of my point is that, like, Piccolo just kind of has a habit to do extreme things. I mean, he gets results, but I just feel like there's maybe a better way to approach this.
um, I don't know. I didn't think one way or the other of it.
Anything
But
about it? Okay.
why did?
It didn't bother me too much. I was just it feels like something that would bother people. I don't know. I
Oh,
saw it and I thought about it. And so
no,
I
they
I
thought
had
just
maybe
that.
found it
somebody.
more
They had that
I found it more
relationship.
I found it
Yeah.
more comical than
Yeah.
Then than
concerning,
bothering you.
but
All right.
yeah.
And how did you feel about what about Cell? What is Cell coming in
Oh, here we go. Yeah,
towards the
The
end? Yeah.
Cell with his big tennis shoes?
Uh what?
tennis shoes. I
He was
missed it.
wearing tennis shoes. You guys
I
didn't
missed that.
notice that? When
So
Dude, I
I
only
when
watched
found
it
it.
in IMAX.
when
Okay, I didn't have a
Yeah,
when
we
good
watched it in
view.
IMAX.
When Piccolo
I didn't even
catches
I
his
saw it
foot,
twice, not even noticed it. Yeah.
like when Piccolo catches his foot, he has like the peanuts little slashes along the bottom
Well,
of his shoe.
you know what. So that was actually something I noticed with all the characters is that all their shoes are now rounded and look the same, or feet or whatever. All their
Mhm,
shoes are rounded when Piccolo's used to be pointed, and
Mhm.
each of them even cells used to be pointed, and more
mhm,
they all used to be unique. Like all their shoes kind of have their own form, but now they've
yeah,
all just developed this rounded shoe, and it doesn't bother me. I just
it's
noticed it,
probably
and I was like, okay, just different. Like I'm not gonna let a
yeah,
shoe bother me. Now, if
Yeah.
they started doing open toe again, I might be out. So
and
So
and
this ain't
and I thought
Naruto.
it was and I thought it was fun to have the kind of like kaiju battle
yeah,
Yeah,
that was cool.
between Piccolo
I did not
and
see that
Cell.
coming.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
either. Funny bit of
Although
trivia. Do you know why we've gotten more Frieza over the year than Cell after their
no,
sagas?
no.
Cell is harder to draw,
Ah,
and
Uh,
Toriyama and
that
Toei
makes
have
sense.
both confirmed that Cell is not used nearly as much as some of the other characters because he's hard to draw.
But with CGI, that eliminates quite a bit.
Does
I'm
yeah.
assuming.
I thought that was fascinating, and then because that was brought up when he was used for this movie, and they didn't say anything about the CGI, but I thought about it like you just did. Yeah, I was like, well, maybe that's why they did it because now CGI it makes it a little easier to
That
use
makes sense
something a little
too.
more
With
complicated.
Boo, Boo probably seems easier to draw than
Yeah.
Cell as well. Um,
Yes.
I didn't like his colorway. It felt like an alternate costume in a video game. Like when second player,
mm.
when you both pick Cell,
Which one? Oh,
Cell Max,
yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
feels like
Cell
when both
Max.
people pick. Like I liked they brought back
Hey,
Cell. It felt a little bit
yeah.
like Bio Brawly though. If you guys ever saw Bio
Yes.
Yeah.
Brawly,
We think we both said that when we left the theater that we got bio brawly vibes from the
yeah,
movie in general.
I like that he was in it though. Like that Cell
Yes.
actually like. I didn't even think about that being a factor. Um, But
I
yeah, his
I
colorway was whatever, and it made sense that he wasn't perfect Cell too, because he didn't
I
finish in the back to
yeah,
tank.
I personally would have preferred I I don't find it entertaining per se when Dragon Ball uses repeat villains.
Hmm,
And maybe it's because I don't have the same connection to Dragon Ball that you guys do. So I was a little kind of like, oh, it's Cell again. And even before Gohan fought Cell, I was like, and Gohan's gonna fight him, and Gohan's gonna beat
sure,
him. It's
yeah,
just the Cell saga again. And so that kind of disappointed me because I would have actually, when Piccolo transformed, I was kind of like, oh, are they actually gonna have Piccolo beat Cell? But then they made all this big deal about Gohan and his inner power, and I was like, nope,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
It was
Gohan again.
definitely an homage to the Cell Saga in general.
Yeah,
Especially there's been some side by side displays of Gohan's transformation in Cell Saga versus Gohan's transformation in Superhero, and it's almost
mhm,
beat by beat uh,
the same.
the same when he
Interesting.
transforms.
Yeah.
And they even went as far as when Gohan transforms in the Cell Saga, his hair is the same size as his body. They even attempted to do that here. If you didn't
I
notice,
didn't
the
know that
hair
part,
was
but I
like
did know
Yeah.
his hair was
extremely
insanely big.
long. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's I
Yeah.
think that was more to
I
that
caught
as
that.
well.
I
So
it's not just you, Tomas. I would have preferred them just fighting Gamma 1 and 2
yeah,
and
yeah,
I agree.
something
I didn't
else.
really care about subbing them that much. It was an interesting fight. Um,
yeah.
but I
It
did
was
really like Gamma, but it also didn't make sense if you thought about it because they were only going to be able to keep the kid, which I can't remember his name again, and Gamma one and
yeah,
two on the Red Ribbon's army's side for so long because they were all three of them were trying to become heroes, and they were
yeah.
Right.
using Red Ribbon as a goal to that, and the Red Ribbon is using a bunch of fake news essentially
Mhm.
about the Z fighters to get them to be on their side. But once they found the truth, which was rather quick, they were pretty quick to switch sides.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah, they
one
did
yeah,
thing
switch
though,
real quick.
yeah, they
so
did.
one thing though that I did absolutely love was when Bulma showed up with Goten and Trunks and Android 17
I loved that,
and
but
Android
it
18.
bothers me. To be honest, it bothers me. I'll let you
Really?
finish it first, and then we'll go.
I loved
Finish
it.
stating it. Finish stating
Yeah,
it.
I
Wait.
loved it because she was like, I brought all the heroes, all the most powerful heroes I could find, and Krillin.
Yeah.
See, that bothers me because Krillin is technically one of the most powerful
I
humans on the
know,
planet.
I
So
know,
and
and he
even in
makes
the
the
in the
point.
in the tournament of power, like that literally just happened maybe a year or two ago. Granted, he gets taken out rather quickly, but still he participated and he was there
But
and he
doesn't
helped the
but
team.
doesn't but doesn't Bulma always give him crap?
He
Like,
Yeah.
does.
isn't
They
that
do have a history with it, but still,
yeah? Like,
but it still bothers me.
so I found that hilarious, and I found it
Yeah.
funny that he had to remind Piccolo of his powers. Like, you can grow, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I like
that's
that.
why Krillin's here.
I thought that was weird too
Yeah.
because he was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I could do that." I was like, "What? Really?" This is kind of a weird.
Well,
Oops,
I
I
did
forgot.
too. I
I
did.
mean,
He didn't do it at all in Z.
He hasn't
yeah,
done it in a long time.
but
Yeah,
you forgetting and then him forgetting is a little different to
yeah, it's a
me.
little yeah.
But
I think,
yes,
but that's what
I
I'm
could
getting
see
at.
that.
I think it
Yeah,
was almost a nod to like, oh
to
yeah, we all
everybody.
forgot. Like we've been
Yeah,
writing this show for decades, and we all forgot he can do that.
got
So
what he
And
could do.
and
Yeah.
I think and last but definitely not least, how do you guys feel about Vegeta being stronger than Goku now?
oh yeah, in that fist
Is he
fight,
Is this
though?
canon now?
he
Is
won.
he though?
He
He won
won.
in that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, with no powers, no Super Saiyan, I should
No,
say.
because they. I thought I thought he got knocked into the ocean.
What?
What in the movie?
Yeah, they're fighting, and there's a tidal wave for some reason on Beerus's island, and it's while they're fighting. And I thought it was because Goku knocked Vegeta into the ocean.
Did you not stay for the after credits scene?
Yeah,
I didn't know there
there
was
was an
an
after
after
credit
credits scene.
scene.
That I was like, he didn't stay for the after credits scene.
Oh, so that's what I didn't see. Okay, I didn't know there was
I
an after
almost
credits
missed it
scene.
because I had to use the restroom at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I mean,
in case you didn't
I
know, there is an after credit scene, and it's actually a really sweet scene, in my opinion, where they're both exhausted, Goku and Vegeta, and doing their last
uh,
punches, and Vegeta kind of pushes Goku over.
Yeah,
He
he
falls
like
over,
taps him.
Vegeta falls over after, and then Broly and one of the other guys are like crying because it's something that's been the Dragon Ball Z fans have been waiting for a long time.
Yeah, and then like
okay.
Whis doesn't care or
And Whis
wasn't even
doesn't
paying
even.
attention.
Yeah, Bears is asleep, and he's just like, ah, whatever. And
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I would have liked to see that, but I will say this: what the hell are all movies just Marvel movies now? Can we not have an
oh, the
ending?
after. Oh, I like it.
I like it. Yeah.
I like
I
it.
Because
don't because
that
I
really
gotta go to
doesn't
the
mean
bathroom.
that doesn't mean anything to the story. So honestly, it's
I
just
know,
like
but I gotta go to the bathroom.
you
And
stayed
now I
past
feel
the
out of the loop.
credits.
I know.
Yeah,
You just,
well,
but
you're
you
out
got
of the
to,
loop.
dude. You just got to
Go
stay
watch it
now.
again.
You just
Yeah.
got to, yeah.
So
Unfortunately,
here's
Marvel movies have trained me to just stay for every movie. Sometimes the
Yeah.
credits are extremely long, which ones for Dragon Ball are actually pretty short. The
Sometimes I look it
credits.
up though. Sometimes I Google
so
Yes,
it while
I'll
I'm
wait
sitting
in the
there.
theater while it's going, and I'll just look it up on my phone real quick to see if I should stay.
I do that. Yeah.
so so Alan, I appreciate all your questions, but I have a question that I'm dying to ask you guys, the more Dragon Ball gurus than I am.
Yes, Guru.
So what level? I actually have two questions. Let me start with this one.
Oh boy.
First off,
Yep, I'm ready.
why the heck couldn't Goten and Trunks go Super Saiyan without fusion? They could go Super Saiyan 3 with fusion.
Yeah.
What's going on? Why couldn't they
You mean
go
beforehand? Before they
Yeah, they
fused?
didn't try to go Super Saiyan, they just instantly tried to
Because
fuse
it
and then
didn't
go
really
Super
matter. They
Saiyan.
didn't need to go Super Saiyan before they transformed. But
Okay,
if they would have gone, they could have just turned
They
the
just have to
next
be at the same.
transformations.
They just have to be
They
the
just had to be
same
the
power
same
level.
power level, yeah. So it doesn't
I
matter.
thought I also thought they could only match power levels when they were in Super Saiyan.
No,
I don't remember
they can
that.
match parallels without it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's never been a
Well,
thing.
anyways,
As far as I don't remember that.
But
well,
they did
anyways,
it. They
so
messed it up anyways,
Yeah,
which was
so
yeah,
great.
when they
well,
mess it up though, they can't become Super Saiyan.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
when that happens because it
yeah,
screws up their power.
no, I understood that, and I enjoyed that part. I was just curious if Super had done something retroactively to
Super
their
hasn't
power.
done anything to them. This is actually the first time we've seen them in the traditional canon
Okay,
as teenagers.
all right.
Yeah,
And they
this is
kind
like
of
a step
mentioned
forward
that. Yeah,
Mhm.
so and same with Pan. So
in
this is like a
timeline.
big deal. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
first step and
So
Super.
then, so then, my next question is: so they make a point at the start of this movie to show Brawly, and he's like going,
Did you
he's
watch the
trying to
Broly
like.
movie?
No, I
Oh
haven't, but
my.
just
Okay.
listen.
Okay, keep going.
So,
Have you
so
not
they make
seen
a
the
point in
Broly
this
movie?
one where
That one
Brawly's
was
like,
better. I
Yeah,
like this one,
Broly.
but that one's
I
better.
I think this one had a better like story, like new story, but then I
yeah,
think Broly had a much better
And
fight scene. Like the
it
fighting in
looked
Broly was
yeah,
way
it
better.
looked
Yeah.
cooler overall.
yeah.
Yes,
Visuals were.
So
Anyways,
I
for sure.
I was
Keep going
able
though.
to I was able to ascertain that Brawly essentially going Super Saiyan is like a an explosion from what it appeared.
Yeah.
Like so
He can't control it is his problem.
so I am assuming that Brawly is not as powerful as Goku or
He
Vegeta.
stood toe to toe in the Broly movie with Vegito.
Okay.
Gogeta. I think it was Gogeta, right?
yeah,
Okay.
Gogeta.
Okay.
Super
So good.
Saiyan Blue, Gogeta. Yeah.
So
So
this so this brings me to my point. So who and what is Gohan? Because wasn't Brawly supposed to be some prodigy
so
Saiyan?
Yeah.
Gohan is a human mixed with a Saiyan. He's half Saiyan. He's not full Saiyan.
So
So
is he
he's
like
different.
so is he like half Brawly? Is he like half
No, he's
legendary
technically
Saiyan?
he has Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, and then he got the potential unleashed
Yeah,
in the
which nobody
Kais,
else has.
which nobody else
Yeah.
has. That's unique to him. And this new one, actually, just good point to mention this. In the original script, they called it Final Gohan, but they changed it
Okay.
to Gohan Beast.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't like
So
that at all.
yeah, I don't really like it either.
So
And
so
actually, if
my
you look up Gohan Bronto, I have to look it up again. But it's a mod fan version of Gohan, which actually this people are not complaining, but saying that this is kind of a fan a
Like a
service
nod to the fans. Yeah,
yeah, there's a Gohan. I'm gonna look up the real name.
I
I'm gonna
remember.
butcher it.
Was it
It's
AF
from
Dragon Ball?
Mexico. Yeah, it
so
reminded me a lot of AF.
so none of the other Saiyans,
Blanco,
including
Gohan Blanco. So Gohan
Blanco?
Blanco
Yeah.
is a fan made story, which is a white haired, red eyed Gohan, and so this is people are saying this is a nod to that because it's actually pretty popular in Spanish cultures,
oh, but his
Spanish
hair's
fans.
his hair's much shorter.
Oh yeah, his hair is much shorter. Yes, it's actually
Um
Yeah, I've been looking into. I'm not gonna talk about that right now, but yes, it's pretty
But
popular.
okay, but so my thing is like, okay, so Brawly is known as like some kind of legendary Saiyan,
Yeah,
right?
Broly and
He
I
is
can't remember her name
the
right now.
legendary.
He's the legendary Saiyan, and the tournament of power. There is another legendary Saiyan that is brought up, but it's the legendary Saiyan of that universe. And
Okay.
I'm gonna look up her
And
name right now.
Gohan's new
Oh,
power has nothing to do with him being like a legendary Saiyan as well, right?
he just has like a
He just
potential,
has
like
a
a
massive potential,
yeah,
yeah.
that never got unlocked in Z or
And they
GT
finally
or Super until now.
were like, "Oh yeah, we forgot that
Oh
we
yeah,
could."
yeah. If you watch
No.
Dragon Ball Abridged, I just watched this clip the other day. After he beats Cell, Piccolo goes up to him and
Yeah.
goes, "And you peaked." He goes, "What?
Yeah,
Really?" He's like, "Yeah, you peaked.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is it." He's like,
yeah.
Dude,
"What?"
People are
dude,
really afraid of this being the only time we see this beast mode, and them just like moving away from Gohan again.
well, because
They probably will.
Gohan never did the same thing he did with Cell, even
Yeah,
against
he's gone Super Saiyan 2 before. I mean, I think he did it in that fight. I
yeah,
think he was Super
at
Saiyan
least
2.
but at least it never
Tomas,
was the same impact, in my
there,
opinion.
No,
yeah,
of
you're
course
you're
not.
right. You're right. However, there is a movie that's non-canon
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, go
called
ahead.
BoJack,
Hmm.
where he goes Super Saiyan 2, and it is my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie ever.
Yes,
If
a
you
good
haven't
one.
seen it, because it is Gohan. It's about
Mhm.
Gohan. Although, as you like to say about Superman, Goku's got to get his dick prints all over it still.
Yeah.
So he's still in it, but Gohan is the antagonist on that one. If you haven't seen that one, that is my favorite. It's called BoJack Unbound in America, but
Yeah,
Okay, I still need to see, yeah, that, and I still need to see the Broly.
I
So
recommend
okay.
the
Did you
Broly. I
see the
might have to
Beerus
just bring
movie?
that to your house sometime.
yes, I saw the Beerus movie.
See, he
Yeah.
was a new villain, and that was great.
Yeah, and I liked that. Yeah, I thought it
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah,
So
I think I have them all on
I
Blu-ray.
own them all, and I have a lot of the
Do you
older
have
ones
the
too.
Do you have the HD 4K? No, I'm just kidding. I
No,
don't.
I don't. I don't have all the Blu-rays. I haven't
I
done
have
that
them on
upgrade yet. I
Blu-ray.
did upgrade my Z to Blu-ray, but I didn't upgrade that
Oh,
to
okay.
Blu-ray
I don't
just
have
yet.
that. I don't have
Yeah.
that. That's nice.
I do have all the movies, but I'm kind of hesitant of upgrading to Blu-ray because a lot of them are like the older ones that they still have like freaking drowning pool and stuff on the soundtrack,
Oh yeah, it's
and it's
great.
actually a whole different experience when you
I
start
watch
doing
them in
those weird.
Japanese.
I
Yeah.
know
All the
you
old
have.
ones. I did
Anyways,
you see? Did either of you see it, Alan? Did you see it in subtitles or did you do dubbed again when you saw it
I
I
second?
saw
did dubbed
dubbed.
again because I was seeing with a friend who wanted to do it dubbed, and I don't
Oh,
think they have
okay.
it subbed there
They do.
anyways.
Well, they do have it,
Yeah,
but
I know
maybe not where
it's
you were
out
at.
there. Yeah, but I know there was options to do it, but I actually really enjoy the voice actors for
Yeah.
the dub.
Oh, I do
So
too. I like them
I
both.
but
At
I
this
do
point,
like the ones with the Japanese, but I usually just
So
focus on the English voice
so
actors.
Is Gohan officially the strongest Saiyan now?
So they mentioned in the movie they only say one line about it, and they say that he is the same strength as Goku. But they don't
Okay.
specify if it's
What form?
Goku Instinct Goku, if it's Goku Super Saiyan God Goku, if
it's
it's
not out of
regular Goku.
control at all.
Yeah,
Not a.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. So they're being very vague about it. So we don't
I
know
will I will say
exactly.
this too, back at the beginning of the movie when it started with Pam, because you brought up the thing about Team Foursquare, Kyle. Back when the movie started with Pam, all I could picture was Piccolo yelling at Gohan, "Dodge!"
All right. All right. So it sounds like we all liked it, right? Everybody liked
Yeah,
it.
I thought it
Yeah,
was great.
Okay,
I
had a
did
good
I
like
enjoyed
it.
time.
it.
Okay, so I want to end on
I'm
one.
going to watch it again.
Oh yeah, I'll own it. I'm sure I'm planning on buying it and watching it again. I'm excited to do that. And because they don't end up on streaming
What
services very
one
often. The movies
one
don't.
Mhm.
Which
one
is sad.
random note. The voice actor for Gohan and Goku in Japanese is
Yeah.
85 years young.
85 years. Yeah.
So
Wow.
we only
Any
get
day
a few
now.
more of these.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
know
for sure.
that's so
It's
sad to
sad.
say, but
I
it's
remember when
true.
the voice for Frieza, the English voice actor for Frieza passed away. I mean, he was the older voice actor,
Yeah,
but he had to stop doing it for health reasons, and
right.
then he
Mm.
ended up passing
And
away, which is sad
he
because
was
I
a
love
lot
that
younger.
voice. That was a very
Yeah.
unique voice, the original Frieza voice.
Hmm.
Uh, but anyways, so we all liked it. I don't know if we want to do ratings, but I had one more thing I want to end with. Um, and you can add your rating on if you want for this movie. If you could create a storyline
Hmm.
or use a storyline of something that maybe is not canon or is a video game or something for the next movie, what is an idea you have that you would like to see
Like
utilized
for
and
the next
created into canon?
Yeah,
How Brawley was created into canon, and now this is now a thing. Like, what would you
I
like to bring back, or maybe something new?
I already got it, and
Go ahead, Kyle.
I would love, and this you did not prompt us for this, so I
I
had it
didn't.
ready.
I just thought of it. So
I would love to see Krillin as a police officer doing like a detective
just
or
like a cop
undercover story.
drama with
Yeah,
Krillin.
but like you said, he's the strongest,
Law
one
and
of the
Order.
strongest humans, right? So
Yeah, for
he's out
sure.
there kicking butt, right? So I would love to see that, and then maybe he has to call in Piccolo or something for something crazy. But yeah, I'd love to see more of like this, where it was Piccolo focused, or Krillin,
Mhm.
or even maybe like something with Tien. Bring back Tien and Chaozu and those guys. I
Yeah,
don't.
I did like in the
Chaozu is
Tournament of Power
gone,
how
but
we got TN back. So
yeah.
that was cool.
So more of those guys. Maybe I want to say Trunks. Trunks has been done enough, but
Yeah, everybody
yeah,
loves
that
Trunks.
Krillin's my first choice as a police officer. It has to be that story,
I
not
would
just
love to
Krillin.
see them get the balls to branch out like that. That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
right. It's a risky move. It really is, but I would love to see it.
All right, what do you got, Tomas? You got anything you could think of?
Man, I am
Want me to
thinking
go
of a
next, and you
moment.
can think of
Yeah, you
something?
go next and
All
I'll
right.
keep thinking.
So I think I know you guys said Dragon Ball's GT's not canon anymore, and that's fine if it's not. But can we get the Black Star of Dragon Ball something back? Because these
Oh,
Dragon Balls are getting out of control, where we're just using them for butt
For whatever
jobs
we
and
want
lashes
now.
and whatever,
Yeah.
oh my
just
gosh, I
cosmetic
forgot.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she got a butt job on that in the
I will
Yeah,
movie.
like
say
I was
there's a lot of problems with the GT saga, but I think one of the best things about it was punishments for the stupid
The
wishes that have
overuse
been
of
made,
it. Yeah,
overuse of the Dragon
mm,
Balls, which gave you a real sense of like
it
there's a repercussion to
oh shit,
this.
they
and
can't die.
it took away their safety net, right? Like,
Yeah,
oh, we just can't wish everyone back now. Like,
that's
Yeah,
not
we
an
because
have
option
to
like
win.
anymore.
because like that starts to become a thing, especially if I remember correctly, especially in the Cell Saga. It's just like, oh well, they're just gonna wish everyone back, so whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
they do
Exactly.
say like that in the Boo saga. They said the same type of thing again.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
it's always the safety net.
it creates a sense of
Mhm.
urgency. You're right. It does.
So
I
I
mean,
would
even
love for them to
yeah,
do something with it, just
that's a
something
good
with some
idea,
sort of repercussion with the Dragon Balls again. Maybe it
dude.
doesn't have to be the same thing, but
Mix
something.
that with Krillin's, right? Where it's like
Oh, so
everyone dies, and now the Dragon Balls are gone, and Krillin's the
yeah.
last man, and he's got to figure out how to save the world.
Also, one
My
negative
I
too about the
actually
movie was Dende just like
Or
upgrading the Dragon Balls for just
yeah, just some
randomly.
water.
yeah,
Yeah, just
that was a
water on
little
it.
much. They should also bring back One Arm Gohan. Like they should do that more with characters from the Trunks History of Trunks movie. Remember that?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, I did love
Like
One Arm.
they should
That
injure
movie's amazing.
characters.
Yeah,
So because he was at like
permanently.
half
Yeah,
power,
some more
right? Like he had
permanently
one
injured.
arm. I
Yep.
was like, that
Uh
was
huh.
so cool. Like he
When he
was
was doing the
awesome.
Kamehameha with one arm,
One
that was
hand,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Like they should injure more characters, so they're still around, but they're not as powerful, right? That's a
Not as
great way
powerful. Yeah.
to kind of
I
bring up
mean,
more characters.
I think we all know that the end of the Cell Saga was supposed to be the end, or Gohan
Well,
was
Yeah,
supposed to
that's
take
what I've
over.
heard.
and
Yeah.
Frieza actually was the first
Yeah, it was
one.
the original end, and then they did the Cell Saga, which I
Missed
think
out.
was a perfect end.
That was a good
It
end.
was supposed to hand off the torch to Gohan,
Yeah,
Mhm.
but but Gohan's not as big of a draw as the
yeah.
famous Goku.
I
But
just
Yeah,
anyways,
well
for me,
well I
he is, but
I love
well
Gohan. I
I
agree with you.
well I did find the thing of mine. I think what I would love to see, and I know this is maybe an old reference, but I want to see what the actual training Dende put them through.
oh, okay.
Be- Because
Dende?
he put some, not Dende, Popo.
Oh,
Yeah,
When
that was a
Master
long time.
okay,
Popo,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
we never get to see
they
it.
did.
That's
They
true.
just all
Yeah.
complain. They just all complain about how tough and hard it was, but it's like, well, then what
I
happened?
know
Like,
they stopped kind of focusing on the training. That was a big part of the show
yeah,
at one point, but
I mean, they do still kind of focus on it in Z, but I mean Super, but it's like it's usually just Goku in the other world with Vegeta.
right.
mhm,
But they don't focus on it as much as the weak Earthlings
But
now.
are they doing? They're not doing like push-ups and stuff either, right?
No, not really.
I remember that like when Vegeta was doing
When fighting,
one
yeah,
finger push-ups in like
yeah,
600 times gravity and stuff
it's
like
that
that
was
gravity,
was
yeah,
yeah,
that
that
was
was pretty
cool.
intense.
That was a cool little
yeah,
like yeah like and then he like
yeah,
he found himself and it was a whole existential
mhm,
crisis type of thing when he finally went Super Saiyan. But yeah, like that kind of stuff. They kind of strayed away from that. Definitely in the Buu saga, it was like nothing. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
it Gohan didn't train to unleash his true potential. It was
no,
he
just like a
yeah,
sat next
meditation
to
thing.
old
Yeah,
guy. Yeah, so I know, and that was a little lackluster, I will admit.
yeah,
And then he got owned by Boo. Boo just tricked him
mhm,
and ate him.
yeah,
all right.
That whole
Well,
series.
I think that about wraps it up for our spoiler section and our Dragon Ball
yeah,
Yeah,
talk.
man, we had a long
Um,
episode today.
yes, this is
yeah.
a
This is
long
really
one,
long.
so I hope you stuck around, and I wish to see you next time.
Take it easy.
Bye.